Make them extra stealthy.
Yeah.
All right, it is recording. I will set this on a small tissue.
Contest that with Dex or something?
Listening to episode 32, 33 of Critical Role. I think just in general, all the things that, who's it, Vax?
You on season 1?
Vax does to Grog just cracks me up. The number of pranks. Grog fell asleep? All right, well, this is what I do.
Oh,
Grog, make a perception check. You have no idea.
Pranks all the way down.
Would you really make a perception check if you're sleeping and somebody is
Potentially.
Probably disadvantage.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it was a disadvantage. Sometimes it was just, you gotta pass their passive perception, which Grog's was like 8. So, you know.
Okay.
Fantastic.
It is widely considered a dick move to prank, like to maliciously prank those that are asleep.
I am not above it. Andrew can attest to this.
I want to sleep differently at night now.
Painted toenails. There was one time where we dipped his hand in warm water and nothing happened, but I think we only waited like 2 minutes. So we just dumped it on his lap and we're like, oh my gosh, what'd you do?
I feel bad for him now. That's on the record. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, so you're not
If you
gonna
cut it-
Exactly. We're gonna know if he listens.
All right.
It's gonna be like 4 years from now.
Well, I think I left a prop somewhere in the other room. Would anybody like to recap last session?
Oh.
I quit.
I think we should really just play the entire recording, and then in post we'll just speed through it really fast, so it'll feel like we didn't actually sit through the whole thing.
Got out of Death House.
Yeah, that's where we started.
Heard the cart.
Yeah.
Followed the cart. Found an old lady. She was peddling some pies. I think
You all saw a picture of her. It's
Dealing in
creepy.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kids. People were selling their kids off for some
Pastries.
funky ass pies.
Yeah, Granny's pasties.
Or
Like the meat pies.
Truman has one now.
Yeah.
Then there was
That's
this
so bad.
screaming next, and we went and
Mary.
gave Jerry back.
Yeah.
And
Jerry.
You
Crazy
should
old
take Jerry back.
Myra.
She does not need to be.
No, she cracked her a little bit.
Mary?
Mary.
Bad Mary.
Yeah.
Although Mary is partially mad because her daughter, Gertruda, was taken by Strahd.
Are you in an
Then she went to
OAT?
go find Strahd. Oh,
She
so
ran away.
Strahd doesn't have a thing for her. She's got a thing for Strahd.
Manpower.
Me and her both. Next time Strahd's around, Shield's gonna be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
I hear it's draining.
She's got a thing for man boobs. Zombies attacked. I
After
thought there
we
was something in between that.
visited the
You all went to the
shop.
mercantile
Oh,
and
yeah.
Stole some shit.
robbed him blind.
I have a portable ram now.
I left.
How cool is that?
I forgot you weighed out with a portable ray.
It'd be like this.
We need this.
And then into the tavern, there were the 3 sisters. Were they sisters?
Yep.
They proprietors of the tavern, maybe?
Both.
Okay. And were they the ones that pointed us to Madame Eva?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so question: Where was Madame Eva?
Madame Eva is at the Sarah Pool.
Singapore.
Which we thought was a brothel.
It's
Is that
along
like-
the Iblis River? You all have.
Is that like on the way to the Lucky?
Maybe.
Okay. 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 It is.
It lies west of town,
It is now.
as does Valaki.
So I'm pulling out my like Barovia amusement park with like annotated map.
That would be good.
So we talked to those people. We talked to the barkeep.
Yeah.
I don't remember what about.
Stuff.
And then was
washed his
this?
dishes incessantly.
We did. Oh, he did.
Wait, this was
We did?
before we met. What's his name of the zombies?
Ismark.
Yeah.
No, we were at the
No, because we were at the tavern with
Ismark.
Ismark. Because when Ismark
Yeah.
left the tavern was when Girian dropped the bomb.
Oh my god.
Look, he didn't kill me. He
Yeah.
invited me to his house after that.
Yeah. Oh, Ismark didn't kill you, but somebody else might. Yes, and then we went to the
house.
Bismarck's house.
Valeria Arnautovich. Just making up names at this point.
To see his sister Irina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She had an axe. She was cool.
She looked great.
I got some armor.
Yes.
Unexpectedly.
See that?
DM mistakes 101.
Boom.
You got armor.
Got some splint.
We take their deceased father to the church in the morning in order to give him a proper burial.
Mm-hmm.
Or at dawn, right?
Or at dawn.
Mm-hmm.
We choose not to engage with the crazy thing underneath the church.
That's crazy.
Dory.
Oh, you don't know about crazy thing in the church.
Oh man, that's
So
You
we're
just have
like,
to go
yeah,
back and listen to
no.
the recording.
You don't
I don't
You don't wanna
produce.
reenact
I don't produce NPC voices unless the NPC is currently relevant.
What a convenient policy to adopt.
And then I heard some wolfies on both sides of us. And I was like, whoop, whoop. And told the group. And then Strahd came and tried to take Irina away.
But we did not let him. Mostly Shield did not let him.
This is 100.
You all
Friends.
expertly dealt with the Wolven escort.
These
Strahd.
two guys.
We just hit him with sticks.
Strahd was pissed off at Shield by the end of the day.
That's not good.
He lost his concentration. Arena came to. She was in stabbing a dead wolf as Strahd disappeared into the night into a bat form as he launched himself into the air. And Ismark said, "We need to go now." And that is where we concluded last session.
Why did Strahd come to town? Did he just hear about y'all traveling? Didn't
Gideon
like
summoned
it?
He was gonna take Irina away.
Okay.
You might have summoned him. I don't
Gideon
know.
verbally summoned him to town.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
Purpose, but he could have.
Cruven's assumption right now is just that like his mark was. Ooh, okay, no, his target was out in the open and wanted to go get it. I can't say his mark and his mark.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. Does he know that he can? Was there any inclination that, like, attacking that close to dawn sort of put him on a time limit? Is he allergic to daylight in his own?
The sun was definitely quote unquote in the sky.
Okay, cool.
And
Just
he
make
definitely showed up.
But was there sunlight? That's the question.
Is there ever sunlight? Maybe that's why it's always cloudy.
Is it always
Is there
twilight?
even sunlight in Barovia?
It's not always twilight. This isn't quite like the Fae or some other places in the plains.
I don't see how that's relevant.
But there is a perpetual shroud almost over the entire area. You haven't seen direct sunlight since you've arrived.
Is there a place I can buy vitamin D supplements?
You'd always go back to the mercantile.
That's fair.
Build
I'm
ups.
good.
Eat your pie.
Oh, but there is vitamin D in the pie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Can I bring sunlight?
Maybe.
I have just the thing. I mean, I'm like,
Well, there's a spell.
and put it in your pocket.
There's like a daylight spell or something.
Oh, is it daylight or sunlight?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
I've never
she
gotten
gets
that.
it as a grassland druid
mm-hmm.
as a 5th level spell.
Okay.
It's a 3rd level.
3rd level
Oh,
spell.
yeah,
I'm
it's a 5th
there.
level.
Yeah, it's on her naturally prepared list.
That's cool.
No, I got a lot on my natural.
That'll be
prepared
convenient.
list.
So just like before a short
That's
rest
his
or whatever,
fifth.
we
Like,
just
this is a little.
we lay out, we
overwhelming.
tan.
Holy shit.
It says daylight's 5th.
From what?
Druid level 5th.
Yeah, it's your level 5th, but spell level
spell is
spell
third.
progression is different than character progression. Which
Okay.
is not, confusing
Zach's like,
at all.
Me too.
Alright.
So.
It's
I'm
a
gonna trust what
holdover-
you guys say.
It's a holdover from old editions.
There's also a sun.
I think that's what I was thinking.
Ismark has gone to his sister Irina and is trying to console her and pull her off the wolf as she repeatedly buries the short blade that she had on her hip into the corpse. It's turning into this mutilated puddle of fur and flesh.
I cry. A little.
Okay. He turns back to the party and says, "How soon will you be able to leave?"
Let's go.
Now? Do we need to sleep? Have we slept?
You all just came out of a long rest. It's
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's morning. We came out on a long rest?
You all slept at Ismark's,
And then we
So-
went up at
and then you
dawn.
went to the church.
So I couldn't
Yes.
have used any hit dice, right? Because that's only...
You wouldn't
Sure.
need to because you.
Well, I've got 3 used on here, but I couldn't have...
We did use them at some point. We
But
used
then we
them
lost.
as- Yes. Yeah. So now you've got them
Yeah, you
back.
should have them all back. I don't think you used any in the fight against Strahd.
Unless you use second wind.
That won't be worth it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We're just talking.
Where did we end? Were we right after we finished fighting the wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I guess
Yeah.
that's where my confusion is.
It's about 9:20 a.m. on the north side of Barovia. They're on the back side of the church.
Okay, so I'm still at 17.
Yep.
Hit
Okay.
points?
Level 3,
Hit
you all
points.
should pretty much have everything because I couldn't hit Jack with the wolves.
I did get hit once. You got hit once on a 36.
Anytime that I did hit Krubin, he went ahead and killed something and just health back up.
How do?
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, dude, that's pretty
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bismarck says, I must gather my belongings. And Irina says, I will go with you, brother. They start heading back towards their house. You guys are currently just kind of in a state of limbo. Do you go with? Do you go elsewhere?
I would go.
I would creepily follow them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Creepily. I mean,
So coming back into the
Much
house,
more.
you see them quickly preparing. I mean, they already were fairly well packed, but there's a couple things that Ismark is pulling off the walls and everything else. He takes a handy dandy map off the wall. It's been framed. That's now kind of in the party's accessibility if they care to ask to see it.
just Kieran stole it. How fitting.
Yep.
Get hands quickly.
He is the ancient. He is the land. Ismark and Arena gathered up the last of their belongings. They've got a bit of a pack. You guys, seemingly all are ready to go. He gives you a nod and starts out the door, heading back up towards the crossroads that can take you then to the Slavic Road and west out of town.
Oh, is that gallows at the bottom? The old gallows? Was that a thing that was mentioned?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because it was at the old gallows that you took a right to go down the hill to the Vistani encampment.
Yes.
Oh, I see it now.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to put everything
As you all approach the crossroads,
together.
you are you can begin to pick up the sound of horses' hooves. English is my native language. Coming down the road, a couple of colorful wagons, open wagon. Bismarck turns and looks. He looks a mixture of things. Part of him is a little bit frustrated with the whole thing, but part of him is a little bit excited and anxious of the whole thing. And he yells out, "Ho there! Ho there!" The reply comes back, "Hello, friend." They pull up the wagon short. You see that there is a man driving the first. The second wagon, there's 3 wagons in total. The second wagon seems to be driven by a man, and then the final wagon there is 2 women sitting up on top. One of them driving, the others kind of along. Ismark approaches, and he goes, "Stanimir, are you headed along the Slavic Road this day?" He says, "Yes, we're making our way to the Ser Pool encampment." "Where are you going? You look like you're ready to embark on a journey. This is something new. I don't think I've ever seen you with a pack." Ismark replies, "I have to get my sister out of here. It is just no longer safe. My father has passed. The wolves and zombies have assaulted our home for the past week. We've just seen some reprieve, but it is no longer safe here. We must go." Your character happens to be back there on that far wagon, if ever you care to say anything. Stanimir nods and says, "Well, you're welcome to come with us. An additional, 2 people on the road is a very nice thing to have." And Ismar speaks up. "Oh, I do not travel alone. I have made friends." And gestures in your direction. When I say in your direction, notice my hand stopped short of gearing.
Oh,
Do I know this caravan or this caravan master?
You do not, but they are similarly dressed to the 3 women that you saw in the inn. Very bright, colorful clothing. You would know that Stanimir is the person who delivered the letter to you. His son and daughter, Damia and Ratka, are both with. Damia is on the cart with you. Ratka's in the middle cart. He says, "Well, you're all welcome. The roads are always a little safer with numbers." And begins to saunter on.
did I make up the word Vistani?
No.
Isn't this
Vistani.
people?
So are we getting on the cart? Is that the idea?
No,
hope
there
so.
doesn't
My
look to
legs.
be room in that sense. I mean, Ismark helps Irina up onto the second cart up by Ratka. There's already somebody, a human. I have no idea what she looks like. Would you like to describe your character?
I did not go that far into my thought process.
What color hair she got?
Black.
Alright, how's the style?
Loose waves.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
What kind of clothes does she wear? Rich, colorful, sort of poor, modest?
I'd say modest.
Okay.
More plain colors.
Okay.
She doesn't. You definitely pick up on how the other 3 are dressed. That she doesn't quite fit with the group, but you're not entirely sure her origin. Granted, you all haven't had a lot of interactions with Vistani, so you're not entirely sure if anyone's there.
It's one.
Just one.
Technically one. Not so bad.
Ismark and Stanimir kind of moseying on, and Stanimir begins to lead the horses. The rest of you are free to walk along as you will.
Would it help if we also described what our characters look like?
Yes, please. I would love
For
that.
completeness sake. Should we go around the circle?
I don't remember.
It's a new day.
Tyrion
Make
wears
some up.
a hooded a hood, a black hood.
It's just a bunch of
I had long
it's a
black
bunch of hoods just sewn together.
I had long black hair, but I wear my hood up over my head.
Steelers. Alright, so my dude, we done or we?
I'm done.
Okay, cool. I couldn't tell.
You can't really see his face.
Do you know Peter Capaldi?
Give me a reference.
Doctor Who, one of the more recent doctors.
12th Doctor.
12th.
Older doctor.
No.
Okay, cool. He looks like an old knobby British guy.
Okay.
He's got sort of a shock of gray-white hair. His ears are pointed as he is a half-elf. He wears this sun-faded, yellowish, like off-white, I guess, tunic and bunched pants. He has hand wraps and foot wraps that are kind of hard to see because he's wearing this fancy, like just jet black dinner coat that has tails. He's got this dapper top hat, and he's also wearing an eye patch that he picked up along the way. But the rest of him looks like a vagrant, yeah, basically.
The vagrant who stole some shit.
Yeah,
Super
super fancy.
I look like a giant suit of armor. There's like sort of shadows where it looks like the face should be, with like glowing eyes, and then I have a massive like tower shield. That's it.
Oh yeah, I carry a big stick. That's it.
You carry anything?
Mm-hmm.
Other
A
people's
sword.
things.
More hoods.
Lots of valuables.
Other people's stuff.
Tucked away. I am a wood elf, but I'm also a Lothari. But nobody else other than Shield knows that at this point in time. And the Lothari has like ever so faintly tinted blue skin. It was in the book somewhere. Oh, are you
No,
looking for a
no.
picture?
No.
Okay.
You got a picture on your sheets?
Yeah, but I don't know who that is.
Some lady.
Some lady.
I don't. Oh, she's kind of there.
Oh, yeah.
So Lithari can change into wolf form, but nobody knows that yet. And this doesn't seem to be a place that really likes wolves.
I specifically don't like wolves.
And I have a rapier and a book.
What instrument do you play? Or do you?
Ocarina.
Okay. What do you carry? It's like a little hand flute.
I actually have a song, like if anybody has ever watched The Dark Crystal,
Yeah.
like when they're in the little canoe and Jen starts to play the ocarina and she's like singing or whatever.
Yeah.
Just sing that little song. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Strange.
we can stream. So what?
That was a strange movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the puppet one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I'm curious about their little group, and I'm gonna hop right off the cart and go introduce myself.
Hi.
Am I actually gonna introduce myself?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Tess. The gypsies brought me here to help with.
They don't like that word.
You said they were gypsies.
That's grooving.
It's just
Yeah.
That's proven.
Okay. They asked me here to help with his wife who's ill from the land. And so I decided to join them.
Damn, not good.
Like the ancient land?
no.
Does that mean that you know medicine?
Easy.
I do know medicine. My reasoning for coming was just I lost my brother, so I don't like to see family members being lost.
I can relate to that.
Well, we're glad to have you on our trip. We're
Thank you.
Yeah. So where you headed?
I'm not sure. I'm just traveling along, seeing where they're taking me.
Relate to that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're headed to Sarapul.
We were chased by wolves.
Galaki.
We can't leave.
Galaki by way of Sarapul. Yeah, we're trapped here.
How
we're
did you
pretty
get
sure.
here?
Fog.
Yeah, just sort of wandered in.
Same.
Yeah.
Griffin picked up a book.
Just rat me out. Like,
I mean, you picked up the book.
I don't think the book brought us here.
Can you prove that though?
No, I can't. You know, I haven't even thought about the book in like 7 sessions.
I don't even know this book.
yeah.
Can I just like
Dream book.
pop open the book and like show
Oh,
and open
yeah.
it up? Is it a worthwhile thing to
Completely
do?
forgot.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would like to just be like, yeah. I mean, it's just this empty blank book, and then I flip open the pages, and
It's not as blank as you thought it was.
it's not as blank as I thought it was. So I'm obviously surprised by that. So then
I'm
I'm
gonna get behind you.
I'm occupied with thoughts, and I'm gonna read the shit out of that if I can. Is it disappearing again? Is it
No.
okay?
Um,
I mean, is now a good time to address this, or do we need to come back to it later?
Now's a great time to address this.
Okay, so Cruven just walks the fuck away. Eye patches up, nose in the book. So what?
So he picked up a book like on the way in that was completely blank. And, like, I don't remember how you got it.
It dropped by,
dropped by a headless horseman dude.
skeletal rider.
Pretty sure it's like a Doulahan or some shit.
That was your first day in Barovia.
Hell of a welcome wagon. I'm not even in this conversation. So yeah, Capitan. What is it?
So flipping through it, it looks to be snippets of memory,
Okay.
or snippets of pictures, but you're not entirely sure of what any of them are necessarily relating to. You're trying to recollect where any of this could come from. It's more of like descriptions and little mini paragraphs of scenes.
Okay.
One of them jogs your memory, and you recall that it was in a dream that you had the night in Ismark and Irina's home.
Those are very private dreams. Sorry, carry on.
You get a vision or it explains there that you saw a boat on the water. You saw a man in the boat. You saw the man throw something overboard, and then the vision seems to fade. You then have, reading a little bit further, you see a wagon, similarly colored to the Vistani wagons, and is in front of a tall structure all by itself. But you can't really tell where or have any other landmarks around to refer to it.
All right. So in the scene with the man in the boat, is it? Do I get the sense that it's in Barovia? Like, is there a sun in the sky? Is it in the Way of Dreams? Not detailed enough for me to know that. I mean, is there like a fog wall?
The landscape
hints?
doesn't seem to continue as far as what typical vision and landscape would provide. It's kind of like it is a dream vision, more or less.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a bubble that you're looking through, like you're scrying. If you
Right.
think of what that may look like. So it doesn't continue on much past that, but it does seem to have similar characteristics to the fog that is here in Barovia.
Okay. So boat in the water. There's a man in the boat. Was I able to see anything about the man from this picture that I'm looking at here?
Not really. He looked.
Like bent, stooped, is
He
he old
didn't
man?
look
young man?
animated. He looked very almost like in a state of trance, like just kind of a zombie-esque.
Okay.
Like not really thinking for himself, not really having any personality that came immediately to mind. If that makes sense.
When he opened the book, were we able to see stuff in the book, or do we just think he took off reading a blank book?
Ooh,
That's a great
good
question. Make a perception check. Let's see what you saw.
Where's my perception modifier?
Question.
11.
You do not notice anything about. He's just opening the book and talking about it to Tess and kind of bickering with you guys about how this isn't really what brought us here, guys. And then he has this eye patch up and is walking away a little bit of a brisker pace.
Mm-hmm. Maybe look at fucking crazy person.
I'm assuming while y'all are having this conversation, the wagons began rolling again. They're not moving super fast, a little bit slower than what you all could probably make in normal walking speed. You don't know how long the horses have traveled and everything else, but you all are making your way out of Barovia into along the Slavic road.
Into Barovia?
So the Vistani wagon was in front of some unknown structure.
Mm-hmm.
We were here.
Like
The
a
structure's really vague, like a tower,
More like
just
a tower.
solid, a vertical wall.
nah, you didn't. It felt more like a tower, kind of like
Tower. Any color associated with stone?
Stone.
Gotcha. That's all I'm after.
Crude description. Think PUBG Wizard Towers,
Yeah, that's fine.
but probably a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Taller, but a little bubbleless on top than the rest of it.
Good loot inside. It's like
No,
never good loot.
never. Okay,
Always like
cool.
pink.
I'm officially going crazy. Awesome. I'm just like mindlessly snacking on my pasty that I'm gonna.
Oh no. Oh no.
Are you really?
No, I don't. I want to. I want to.
Alright. You all are making your way along. Is there any other sort of chatter, a conversation that is being had? You all talk at all to the Vistani, or
Can we have an out of character conversation real quick, just for a brief moment?
I'm right here.
I really want to eat it, you guys.
Bro, would Kruven eat it?
Yes,
Well, then
that's the
Kruven
thing.
Then Kruven eats it.
I know, but I don't want to like derail the game or whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen.
That is the case.
Yeah, if Kruven would eat it.
All right, then yes. While I'm reading the dream book, I'm eating the pasty.
Okay.
Cool.
So you all are moving along.
No. It's a meat pie. It's a wrapped up meat pie.
Oh.
It's a pasty.
I'm so glad you're not vegan anymore.
Right?
I'm glad we're past that phase.
I was vegan for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of mindlessly munching.
Yeah.
Does this meat pie help him understand the book more?
I mean, it might do something.
Do I see him eating the meat pie?
I don't know. How obvious are you being with this whole thing? Are you trying to hide it?
No, I'm just.
If you notice him wander off, I would. What's your passive perception? Shit, 9.
9.
You don't notice.
Would I
You're
smell-
more focused on.
Oh, hey, that's a.
Hi.
You've gotten used to the scent of it. It's not something that just magically.
Oh, true. It has been on my person. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's walking and reading?
You don't.
For some reason, I'm like imagining I'm sitting on the bumper of the wagon
Okay.
as it's just rolling along.
You've been doing
That would-
nothing this whole time, dude.
That's possible.
But yeah, if he's just sitting there reading, I'm picking up rocks and tossing them at him.
Are these okay?
But
Are
that's
these,
about
you
it.
see the pie!
are these like?
No,
what
he's
kind
at
of
an angle.
wagons
I don't
are
know.
these? I mean, I'm picturing somewhere between 1800s covered wagon and like the really tropey gypsy wagons with the doors in the back and
really tropey gypsy wagon with the door.
big
in the
comfy
back.
couch style.
Probably,
covered
yeah.
wagons.
Yeah.
That maybe
Oh.
that was a weird show for a
Yes.
weird time.
I got that reference though.
I did.
Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it. Yes. Cool, yeah. So I'm just like
you're just,
definitely dodging the rocks.
you're just eating along.
Can I use my deflect missiles ability to like mindlessly catch the rocks and like revert them back at Gurion? Not actually doing any damage.
I didn't
or
know you
nothing.
had to.
Just as a this is a thing I can do. They're projectiles.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Okay.
Or what's the other one? That's dex based. Where is that?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Give me an
I
acrobatics.
don't have a
check.
level 3 sheet, so I'm just gonna pretend that this is me here. Yeah, it's like a solid 10.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You're not super great at it because you're not really paying any attention, but you kind of picked up on the fact that there's these random projectiles following your direction from Gurion,
Yeah.
and so you've kind of peripherally picked up where he's at.
Yeah.
And as he's just kind of walking along, and you see him bend over and scratch him, and then kind of throw.
Yeah.
You're swatting at some of them. You deflect back in his direction. Others you don't have as much luck with, but they are knocked aside. Gurion, while the wagons are rolling, it's in your nature to pick up on things of this nature. You see a symbol on all the wagons, and the middle wagon has this symbol on it.
Intrigue.
You look at the back of them, and they may give you a little more insight into what they could potentially mean. The meanings are loose. It's a form of thieves' cant.
Magic units at your wives.
So I would know.
You would know kind of the general connotation of what they're implying. The others may see them, but they probably just went ahead and considered it part of the wagon's decoration.
Gypsy
Yeah.
superstition.
Wait, all right. So would this guy be a corrupt caravan master by any chance? Because my criminal contact background feature indicates that I might know this man. If he was corrupt by any.
You do not know this man,
Okay.
but seeing the symbol, you may have seen it on other wagons and had a similar association with its caravan master.
Okay.
Do you share anything?
No. Gurion's just walking along for now. Trying to figure out what he wants to do.
I think it's actually really good.
Oh.
I don't know what the buzz is about.
Oh, gods.
Have you finished it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you?
Back of the wagon.
How are you sitting there? Like,
So what I'm imagining is that it's like there's like a cross beam at the back of the wagon, and I'm just placed there on it, maybe leaning up the back wall of the wagon or something, hunched over, reading my book, kicking my legs,
okay.
kicking my little feet.
So as you lean back to
And
lick the
hunched
last bit off your fingers, you just slip into slumber.
Oh,
your
dude,
head
yeah,
rocks
fucking
back.
nap time.
Go ahead and make me a
I imagine I dropped the book.
potentially. Go ahead and make me a acrobatics check.
Okay. Sleepy acrobat rolls a 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
as you're slipping off, you
5.
kind of, I mean, the book folds over and it's in your lap in a way that you're holding on to it, like you just naturally grabbed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is where you're at. You have passed out on the back of this wagon.
Sweet.
Urion's kind of not paying attention now as he's got other things preoccupying his mind.
Yeah,
He's kind of
I've
stuck
moved
throwing the
closer.
rocks.
To the center
Okay.
cart.
Okay. Which cart were you on?
So if he's walking along, I'm imagining we're at the back.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Garen's moved up. You guys are all in the back. You're in Dreamland. Just in Dreamland.
Excellent.
And you're having very vivid dreams. Like, very, very vivid dreams.
Like almost lucid.
Essentially, it's like out-of-body experience for you.
Oh, cool.
It is that first high of heroin, so to speak. You are
Oh, okay.
You are floating on the clouds. It is good. There are people that love you, that think you're the greatest. They're just fawning all over you. You're sitting on mountains of gold. Your word is law. I mean, you jokingly tell somebody to just run and point in a direction. That person just takes off running. Like, you have complete control over this world, and they're all there to make you happy.
I bet that would show up in your journal tomorrow. Or whenever you wake up.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's cool. But am I able to interact with this dream?
Yeah, it's more or less like it's your dream.
Okay, cool. I mean, but it's more just nebulous things of that nature are happening. It's not like nobody approaches me and it's like, hey.
I mean, if you wanted somebody to approach you and be like it's your will, your thought is.
So it's lucid dreaming, or it's called.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it sounds like
no.
it.
Your thought is reality. Like, you think it happens. You want another pie, you got a pie.
I'm not going to go into the details of the dream.
You want a birthday cake with some dude jumping out of it, you got a birthday cake with some dude jumping out of it.
I'm not going to go into the details of the dream. But it's a good dream. It's a good dream. Okay.
Is he mumbling? Have we noticed he's fallen asleep?
Oh, man.
Not at this
Can
point.
it be like deep enough that I don't?
Not at this point.
Okay.
He's out.
So now he won't ever know that he ate it. None of us
You've all been
understand.
rolling along. You've been on the
I'm
road
pretty sure he saw me eat it. 'Cause he was throwing rocks at me while I was eating it.
probably a good 30 minutes now.
I quit it.
Shows him
For those of you that are
able to
awake,
leave her.
you're rolling along. You've come back up along the Iblis River that you're able to see. When you first entered Broga, you would have seen this also coming through the Slavic roads. As you overlook the valley, a river flowed down along the southern portion of the valley. There's a bridge, stone. It looks like it's been there for a very long time. As you all cross that and then continue on, you are staying in the valley now, meandering through a much more wooded area. Girian, what is your passive perception? That's going to be on the left side, kind of down a little bit.
3?
13.
Oh, 13.
13. Okay. So all of you that are awake, save shield, because you're less than 10.
You can tell me.
Notice a group standing off along the tree line. A group of individuals standing off along the tree line. There's about 4 of them that you see. They're in kind of heavier furs. 2 of them are leaning on a spear or on spears. The others are standing there with quarterstaffs. And looks like some sort of a trap one of them is carrying. They look rough. They look like they've been out traveling. Dark-haired, gruffy, probably dirty, very stinky, dirty individuals. They don't engage with the wagon. The Vistani drivers ignore them more or less.
So do I.
Ismark and Arena are giving them a bit of a wary look. They're all eyeing you all though very intently, like inquisitively intently.
I kind of ignore them, and I hop up on the middle cart and start making conversation with the driver
Okay.
in a fashion in which I might be able to see what was in the cart.
Okay. So you're talking to him. How do you picture Gary engaging somebody in conversation to weasel information out of them?
Oh, I'm not very talkative.
Well, lucky for you, he is.
Okay.
Brock's like,
Just talk.
hey, how'd you get here? I know we brought Tesh. We picked her up. We gave her the letter and brought her along, but didn't know about you four. I mean, what is? I've been out of here. I've seen some things, but that fucker looks crazy as shit.
You need to talk that to blend in.
With like a little mustache.
Yeah, it is.
You can find me one.
Start playing Putting on the Ritz.
That's a.
Yeah, Girion sort of half-heartedly replies, "Yeah, we sort of just ended up here, nice and fog." Meanwhile, I'm like not paying attention to the driver. I'm just carrying on conversation for the sake of him not kicking me off the
Yeah,
car.
no. Fog tends to be how people end up here. It's a little bit treacherous to navigate. Takes a few times going through before you get the hang of it. But we've got these potions that really help with that whole situation. I don't know how to describe them. It's almost like you've got this clear vision. Everybody else may not be able to see through it, but you can when you've got these. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, you carry those with you on the journey?
Yeah, no, we actually we're coming in with some supplies. One of the camps we roll through here every couple months or so. First camp we're stopping at, of course, is Sarah Pool. See some of our brethren there, and then we're gonna push on, in a week or so to Delackey, and then another week we're gonna push on past that. But yeah, we're bringing in supplies for the different locations. It's kind of I don't know if you've noticed, there's not a lot of coming and goings here of outsiders. You're the first ones I've seen in like, I don't know, 5 months. So this is pretty exciting. But yeah, no, we got some of those and some other stuff.
So how's this cart constructed? It's covered, right? You gotta go through doors to get inside.
Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot.
I mean, there's also like
Bathroom.
70,000 people around the carts too. I don't know that. Is this a troop or is it like literally there's just three
just
people?
3 people.
Oh my
and they're all on
God.
a test.
Okay, cool.
So
Kill them.
you're totally showing.
You don't even know. You're not even there.
No, what you know about these wagons? The most immediate piece, they've got like a pair of larger windows on the side. It's got the door in the back, and then there's a little bit of like a sliding latch that you can communicate to whoever's in the back there, but it's most of the time kept closed.
This one's closed.
You're not necessarily aware of any others. That's not to say that there might not be a hatch or some other, something for these sorts of things.
Mm. Okay. I'm gonna tell him that I think the bumpy road is starting to loosen some joints in the back. I'll go check them out for him.
Oh yeah, these things constantly having to replace stuff on these. Just be careful. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna come in the back and check out the hinge for you.
Okay.
I'll let you know real quick
Cool.
what's back there.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I hope you fail it. That'd be amazing.
06.
All right.
Terrible.
That's pretty bad.
Tess,
Yeah.
Gwen, Shield, what are you all up to?
Just walking. Didn't even see those guys back there.
Dude's about to get kicked off the cart.
Up. Recon sensors disabled.
All right. Well, you all are doing awesome things. Walking along.
I'm trying to think of where I would even be. Like, so you're doing this in the center cart?
Mm-hmm. I'm on the center cart. Climbing around to the back, maybe. Depending on...
Irina is marked. They're up at the lead cart with the lead driver. The center cart really didn't see much action until Gary wandered up there. You all, I assume, are somewhere between, like, probably parallel to the rear cart or up closer to the secondary cart. Grubin slipped around behind and hopped on, and well, as far as you all know, he's still there.
I'm concerned about him
Okay.
because I'd kind of been paying attention to him and grew concerned when he slipped into a slumber.
He does that.
The weird man with the top hat and the eye patch.
Yeah,
bring
your
that to
top hat
anybody's
into the
attention?
bag.
Do
Don't even
Do you bring
play
that to
like
anyone's
that.
attention?
And it's all dirty.
It's
so-
tipped over my face in a
So I
very
say, hey,
dapper
Glenn, is that
man.
normal for Grubin to pass out while reading?
Not since I've known him.
You've
Is
only-
there like a pie shell like that we would see around? Like,
crumbs?
I mean, crumbs on the coat.
Probably crumbs on the
the
coat.
coat. That's more of a
Um,
Corey thing than a Grubin thing.
so I think we could go up and like
Reflection. of
check
fear.
him
Okay.
Check in.
and just kind of see if he's doing okay. Like just poke him because I don't know what else to do with it.
You've only known him for a day.
Yeah, so
That's
it's not
fine.
very long.
Only known him for a couple of
He's
days.
super friendly.
So
Okay. Short journey. Lots of things.
But we would see the
Yeah.
crumbs.
Yeah. Yeah. You three would see the crumbs.
So I say, where are these crumbs?
I pick them up. I sniff them. My super keen nose. And I say, "Oh no! Oh no!"
From a dream. Oh yes.
I gather a couple
I'm
more.
still out, or like
You're
them
still out.
poking, prodding me. Does it do anything? Do I?
They haven't. I mean, it's been like.
Is my dream bubble like from the inside of a balloon? Someone pokes it or something.
I reject this.
Can I Truman show my way out of this? Like, no.
So I gather up some of the crumbs. Go, you guys! Look what happened! So I show Shield.
You
I
stir
don't know where
slightly,
Urian
but you
is.
weren't drawn out just by that.
Yeah.
I tell Tess, this was a pie he should not have eaten. We don't know
Why?
what this. We don't know what it was made out of. And I don't know Tess very well, so I'll leave it there because I don't know if it would be like really gross.
I'll give you a hint. Just like a large belch erupts from Grubin.
You smell pie.
You like pick out the ingredients. Can you do that? Do you have the ability?
I don't know if it.
There was rosemary in this pie.
What kind of meat is this?
Smells
no.
like George.
God, I hope these aren't made of kids. Oh man. Oh man, they might.
They may or may not be.
I forgot about that.
do you have regrets?
No, not yet.
So
Yep.
yeah, telling everybody else what we have discovered.
So, your wagon driver, as you tell him, I'm just gonna go check that axle for you. I'm gonna go check that axle real quick. He's definitely got that. Yeah, go check that axle. I'm sure that's what you're gonna go check and do. About time you hop off the wagon is when then starts her exclamation of everything.
Oh, I guess I'll go see. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna look that way and see if anything looks real urgent.
Grubin's hand just like falls over the edge of the cart.
You see a hand flopping into you. You see Gwen looking absolutely just indignant, just like pissed indignant.
How far are these carts between each other?
Not super far.
Can I jump from that one to the back one and land on the top?
There's a horse.
Yeah, there's kind of a.
Are they chained together, or is it like a horse to each one?
It's a horse to each one. Two draft horses to each.
Jump over the horse's face.
That doesn't work out very well.
Teabag the horse on the way.
Can I get a running jump?
Try.
Are you up on this other cart?
I'm on the top of it.
You're on the top of the cart. All right, I'm gonna give you a running jump. Go ahead and go over the running jump and make me an acrobatics check.
Hold on. There you go. 18 plus 5 plus 5, 28.
28. Okay. You kind of get the driver a little bit of a look. Shuffle back to just the edge of this thing. Take off at a run. The Danica in the back just sees you jumping, and she's just like, it's got this dumbfounded look on her face as you're just careening through the air. You clear it. You basically just go into this perfect roll along the back of the cart. Go ahead and make me another athletics check.
No.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Superhero
Acrobatics.
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 Yes. Whichever one's the dex.
17.
17. Okay. You had this beautiful roll and everything else, but the length of the wagon is just a little bit shorter than what you needed, and you just you come over the back of it, and there just isn't as much wagon there anymore, and you come crashing down.
Can I try to catch him?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a athletics or acrobatics check.
He breaks his ribs falling into your arms.
15.
Okay. No, it's not the prettiest catch in the world, but you definitely he comes flying off the back, and Gwen and Tess are there kind of looking at Kruven indignantly, and you just see this body come tumbling over.
Gwen's right next to me.
Gwen's slightly in front of you.
Can I use my reaction to shield? Just like boom.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go that round. We'll go that round soon. So as he comes rolling off the back, you just which arm's carrying the shield?
The right arm, I think.
Okay, so your right arm. You just swing up the bottom side of this thing. You just basically just do this scooping motion, and Gearing just tumbles on out back the other direction. You don't take any falling damage. I mean, it's basically just kind of.
Guys, I almost had the landing. Almost. Jumped too far that time.
Next time.
I don't know about strength.
So hey, glad you're here. We seem to have a problem.
1 second, 1 second. I check my pocket to make sure my gold pieces are still there. And then I'll address them if they're still there.
You didn't lose anything.
Okay, good.
You've in your days of thieving, you know to kind of pack the pockets appropriately that you're not going to have the valuables slip out. You've probably got an extra type of pocket within a pocket type thing.
Okay, yeah. Professional thief.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how this works, but Tess thinks she may have something in her bag that will wake Reuben up, like an herb,
Okay.
which is in the center part.
It's called pot.
It's
My bag is in
Don't
the center
grass.
part.
Don't grass.
Your bag is in
The
cart?
center part.
Okay, it's in the center cart. Okay. Well, how do you think? Are you gonna go get it, or what's your intention here?
Right now I'm just gonna present that to the gang. Hey guys, I think I might have an herb in my kit that could wake Reuben up. It's in the center cart. Do you want me to go get it?
I'm shaking Reuben, just like.
I think we should absolutely go get that to wake it up.
Wake up, Reuben.
I think I should go get that and wake him up.
All right, so you're gonna go get it. Shield, you're trying to shake free.
Okay, so I'm in the center cart.
Okay.
Are there
so
other people in there?
You go up to the center cart.
I check it for traps.
You check it for traps. You don't seem to see anything wrong with the door. The driver behind you is kind of looking at you funny. I heard most of that. If you're gonna get her bag, just get in there and get her bag. Just get her bag.
Okay.
But there's like lady stuff in there.
So you enter said cart.
I enter the cart.
Okay. What is your intention on entering the cart?
I'm gonna locate the bag, but I'm also gonna locate any potions that might let us see through the fog and anything else that looks very shiny and valuable.
Okay.
If I can do so quickly without wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, no. Because of how rolling around the carts and everything else, it actually looks like there is a wall of glass vials. You notice a couple of them look to be what you've seen as healing potions before. A couple of them are potions that you're unfamiliar with. And that's what you see.
Do I see any empty glass vials?
There looks to be a box there on the ground, kind of like a crate, a wooden crate with a dozen or so.
Okay.
Find it?
Yeah. 1 second. Meanwhile, I'm I'm stashing like 2 healing potions and 2 of the other potions. I don't know what they are. And I'm taking empty vials and putting them back in their place on the wall.
Okay.
And then I'm going to grab the bag and dip on out.
Okay. So you all got now 2 healing potions and 2 unknown vials. They're the fog vials. And now you return back to Tess and Co. with the bag in hand.
Thanks, Garion. I take out an herb, wiggle it in front of Reuben's nose.
So while you've been dreaming, it's been glorious.
Yeah.
It's been like the best thing you've ever imagined. It's
It has.
filling every desire, fantasy, wish.
Yeah. I've got like a bubble bath beard right now.
Yep, you do.
Stop looking at me, Sean.
It felt like you were, like at one point in time, it felt like the tub or whatever you're in, that's the body of water, was kind of sloshing around a bit, and you're just like,
It's just a good jacuzzi tub.
yeah, it's great. Then you catch this like fragrance of something that is foreign to you. The colors
It's not drugs, though.
seem to distort and go much more like dystopian and like just start getting all weird and funky, and they're not. You feel the reality slipping. You come to, and the world just seems a duller, shittier place than it's ever been in your life. You don't want to be here. You want to be back
Oh no.
in that bath with that bubbly beard, doing
I can't grow a beard.
bubbly beard things.
No. Why'd you wake me up?
You ate the meat pie. We were worried.
I point to her.
I was worried.
These 2 like me.
So what
You got
happened?
Gary doing things for you.
A man's dreams are his personal effects. But it was unlike anything. I get it, you know.
But Reuben, how do you feel?
Like I'd like to go back to sleep and not wake up here. That'd be nice.
Could you tell what the pie was made out of when you ate it?
Definitely kids. I mean, no, I have no idea. Was there any? Did it taste like beef?
It tasted
Did it
fantastic.
taste specifically like pork? Was it the long pig?
The long.
You can't place it. It's a meat, or it's got ingredients you're not totally familiar with.
Definitely locally sourced, organically grown ingredients.
Did you say it's vegan friendly?
No, it was definitely meat. I'm not vegan. It's behind me.
Oh, you're not vegan anymore.
No, it's
We
behind
hear
me.
your stomach. Wow.
But it, oh man, that was. We don't talk much about our past so far. We haven't, but I've experienced things in my life that are similar to that. But this is the stuff that you hear stories about, that people look at you in the street when you've had things like this, and they just pity you and walk by because there's nothing they can do to help you. This is the people claw each other's eyes out to scrape a couple coins together to get one more hit of whatever it is that they're on. This is that level.
You notice as you're driving along and telling your story and recounting it, that the road begins to pitch a little bit, and you are gaining some slight elevation.
Don't eat the pies.
So I thought you liked the pies.
Too much of a good thing.
Back in
Too
town,
much of a good thing.
we saw someone give up their own child for the pie.
Now I know. Can't go back.
You all have leveled out at this point in time, and
Leveled up?
no. You notice that you've just taken a right fork based on the direction the wagons are going. You guys are all in the back, kind of clustered around, not necessarily paying attention to. You see up on the hill to the left, the direction that you all are headed, a gallows that sits up there. It looks old. No one's up on it.
That's good.
There is a rope that moves slightly in the breeze, but nothing else of that nature. You then begin a descent back down. Gearing, as you give it one final look back in the direction that you all are coming from, the gallows has a body. It is hanging. It looks like it likes hoods. And as it slowly rotates in the wind, from the distance that you are, you can't be positive, but it definitely looks like you.
I'm Nick.
I checked his pockets.
Because if he's me, he's got my shit, so I can just double my shit right now. Obviously.
Did you tell anyone?
No.
Also, there's a
Doesn't believe
signpost that you notice
Doesn't believe
as
in
you look
ghosts.
back, and that's kind of what drawed your attention back. And you notice those two symbols.
Say, Mr. Dungeon Master,
Hey, sir.
was that bestest shit ever dreamed, recorded in the dream journal? Just a brief check.
You basically got the best, like, epic fantasy erotic novel that you could ever desire
In the book, though.
in the book.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
None of us want to hear about it.
No, that's good. It's not for this game. I get it.
Next week's session?
I get it. This is what I do between sessions. Not my fanfic. Speaking of which, I'd like to go approach Arena and Ismark.
Okay.
Um,
Can you watch it?
and I don't know. Yeah, how am I feeling other than just, more mopey than usual?
You're feeling good.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yes, I can walk straight. Okay, cool.
Yes.
What's up with you?
We were expecting this turn though, right? Like,
Yeah.
This is where we're
Well-
headed. Okay.
You hope you're expecting it. I mean, it had been talked about when you reach the fork and the hang
You
piece.
turn right to go to
right.
Sarapul.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Proven, I bet you can't jump from one horse to the next. I did it perfectly.
Why would I even try? I don't ride horses. It's not for me.
Okay.
I forgot what I was gonna ask Ismark and Arena, so
Sorry.
we'll go back to that later if I remember.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I feel like I've got the 500 yard steer, not 1,000 yard, but 500 yard steer going.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on him, just wary that something might have changed. It could be a danger.
As you all make this turn, you begin to meander down the path as it gradually disappears and is replaced by a deep, twisted, muddy path through the trees. It's got these deep ruts in the earth. It's basically evidence of the coming and going of wagons such as these. A raven swoops down low over top you all and circles a couple times and then heads back up the other direction of the path. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 foot in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons, very similar to the ones you're riding on. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge.
Okay.
As the sound of horses and wagons and the clatter thereof is heard from the camp, as it drowns out a little bit of the singing and the merriment that is a little bit foreign in these lands. You haven't experienced something quite like this yet. You hear an exchange of greetings and exclamation between the wagon driver and those there in the camp. You see excitement on the face of the other two that are bringing up the rear. They look to be, it's been a couple hours now since you all have ridden, so they're in the process of making a midday meal. Looks like a large pot of some sort is placed over the fire that they are all around. A couple women are tending to it. There looks to be a good half dozen or so. It may be early in the day, but some of them are definitely starting to get into their cups and are enjoying the revelry and merriment of just an easy peasy day with not any sort of responsibility or pressures weighing on their lives.
Glad someone is.
They give you, unique looks, curious looks. They haven't seen many not part of their family, so to speak, make their way in. There's a little bit of excitement and bubbling as they welcome you and beckon you to the fire to come and join them as they work to make some additional room. They don't have a great number of logs laid out around it, but they're working to accommodate and being very friendly and host-like, pulling out additional cups and offering you drink if you so desire.
Now, our wagon drivers did know the people in the encampment.
Mm-hmm.
Did Ismark and Irina?
They don't seem to recognize you. They definitely know they're Vistani, but they have not seemed to have had any interactions with these here. At least none that you've seen so far. Ho, travelers! Come, drink, have wine! Food will be ready soon. Ah, it is a glorious day.
You're very gracious to you travelers.
Just sorry. Okay. Wow. That was.
We are a people that do not necessarily have a place to call home. So anytime that we are welcomed, we try to make it a point to welcome others that come to us. So that when we do travel, that hospitality may be returned in kind, and we can find warmth and food and fire. Where have you come from?
That way.
Oh, up the trail.
Barovia.
Ah, I'm guessing the village of. This is all Barovia. You must be very new here. How long have you been here?
Like a day.
Ooh. Well, you've come to the right place. You've definitely come to the right place. Hopefully you can find some answers here. Barovia, it spans this valley that lies between the Baratok mountain range and the Gakis mountain range, respectively to the north and south of us. It is here that Lord Strahd rules in Castle Ravenloft.
What's the deal with the big man in the castle?
He has been the ruler here for long before I was born. He is a great warrior who conquered these lands many moons ago and made them his own, and had the castle restored and finished. He had driven his enemies to their last stronghold, and once conquered, he decided to make it a bastion of his own to show his dominance in conquering these peoples.
So it wasn't always his castle.
No.
Interesting.
He had it constructed and named after his mother, Ravonia. Castle Ravenloft. This dude seems like completely just like, Strahd's the coolest thing.
Okay. Little fanboy. Okay.
A little bit.
That's cool. That's fine. I don't hold it against him. I do, but I don't.
Who's in charge of this camp?
Oh,
That's a good question.
well, it all depends on what you mean by in charge. Elric, he runs the whole thing. He's over there in one of his tents. He doesn't like to socialize. We like to call him the non-Vistani because he's just not regular like the rest of us. But he may run this camp, but he defers to Madame Eva.
Madam Eva.
Which tent is hers?
That's the big one over by the river.
I mean, is it? You said that they're all roughly the same size. Was there one that was
There was
bigger?
one that was larger than
Okay.
the rest. One there was the 5-round ones and then one larger rectangular.
Okay, gotcha.
No, but sit, eat. I mean, you got time to talk to her. She sits and does her seeing things. I don't even know. But yeah, tell me. You all must have stories.
Cruden's got a good story.
Do you? Do tell. Do tell.
I ate a baby.
Remind me.
Story for story.
Here. Remind me what. I have so many to remember.
You had that good story of what happened after you ate the pie. Tell us about your
I
dream. Tell
just
us about
told
your
it so
dream.
recently. I don't feel like I should tell it so soon again.
Okay.
It's,
Oh, I
Shield.
missed it.
Shield launches into the most monotone retelling of the world's history. Like, just as boring as it can be, it does not shut up.
This dude is completely enamored for like the first 3 minutes. And then it kind of slips to nervous glances at the rest of you all as you continue without slowing. And then it becomes a little more like concerned, genuine worry.
And in the year 1565, Lord Edward, son of Daniel, son of Arnold, just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, that's a great story.
I'm still talking.
Take his batteries out. But I wouldn't try that.
No, I don't know. I mean, if you continue in this manner, I don't know if I can repay your story with one of equal magnitude.
I'm still talking. I just like look at him.
He's looking around for some help now, and the rest of the Vistani are looking at this whole thing, and initially they were intrigued by the story, but now they're highly amused at this poor man's plight as you just continue to level into him in a monotone voice.
he is truly our greatest storyteller.
The land you come from, storytelling's different than what I'm used to.
Very literal.
And that was just the year 1565. 66 gets crazy.
Maybe after dinner.
Maybe another
after
time.
dinner.
Maybe another time.
Or lunch.
There's laughter from everybody behind him. I mean, everybody. This dude was inevitably was the butt of the whole joke. They begin to break out food and pass it to everyone. They're definitely partaking of it as well, and there's no hesitation or anything of that nature. They ask you to sit and join them for a bite to eat.
I'll eat some food.
Okay. Ismark and Arena at this point in time have wandered over as well and have joined. But they seem to be slightly wary of the time of day and pieces of that nature. One of those that he's a fast eater. He's that person that just like, story for story. I'm sorry it does not have the length, breadth, and width of yours. That is one that will be retold in time.
Most don't.
You don't know our humor then, friend. But let me tell you a tale of a mighty wizard that came to this land over a year ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing now. He's a very charismatic man. Very different than your storytelling friend. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against what they called the Devil's Strahd. He stirred them with the thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. Their numbers piled through the gates. onto the ramparts, in through, storming the castle itself. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's parent army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the Serre Falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his inevitable death.
Damn.
I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body to see if, he had anything of value, but the river Iblis had already spirited him away.
Which way does that river flow?
It is flowing back to the east, so back towards the village of Barovia and everything. You've all been heading west this whole time.
Okay.
You can hear further on down that footpath the sound of crashing water. You can tell there's definitely a falls of some sort that direction.
Okay.
We need to go check that out. See if maybe his body washed up a little bit over there.
I do know.
Have we been sitting for close to an hour?
Yeah, I would say that. It's probably pushing noon now.
So I could
Noon
spin
30.
the die heal a little bit.
Yeah.
Which die is that? So 6? D8 or
D8
D6?
for you, I would think. Or is it a D6?
It'll tell me on the sheet where at.
Yeah, in the center, in the top box where it says hit dice, there are 3 rows.
That's a D8.
Alright, let's see about how many we got.
Okay. That was a nice one. I went up to 18 hit points.
You can spend as many as you have.
You should have 1 per level.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it should say 3d8 plus con.
Oh!
Yeah, so you
3d8 plus 0.
yeah, you can spend 2 more if you wanted to.
Okay, oh, shoot, yeah. And you get those back on a long rest.
Yes.
Gotcha. Those are 2.
So when Tess introduced herself, did she tell us that she had lost her brother?
Mm-hmm.
So you lost your brother. Lost him like out there lost or like lost?
We were
Sorry, Gabe.
on a fishing trip, and the last thing I saw was his boat disappear into a fog.
Was he with anybody?
He was by himself.
I'm glad to hear it's not your fault.
His boat disappeared into a fog.
Mm-hmm.
Did you come from the other side of the fog?
Yes.
Or you always been around here?
No, I came from the other side of the fog.
That actually helps let me trust you, so. Do you think he's here?
I don't know. I hadn't put much thought into that.
I had a brother. Have a brother, but it's not here, so had, I guess. Anyway, I get it.
I guess I'm curious where this wizard came from.
He claimed to be an adventurer. When he stood here and he talked to Madame Eva, and he told of his grand plan and rallied the different parts of Barovia to his cause. He was very charismatic, very, very intended. He said that he sought this place out in particular, Barovia. He had heard of it through somehow.
Sounds like an idiot.
Considering his fate, you could argue such.
Listen, I don't plan on getting involved in any shit like that.
Is Irina here, or are we still traveling?
No, you guys are all chilling at the campfire currently. So she's there as well if you would like to talk to her.
I say we go talk to Irina.
About.
Isn't she the one that's sick?
She's been feeling a little bit under the weather because you wouldn't know this, but she's been bitten a couple times by a vampire.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to go talk to her to see how we can help.
She's helpful.
I do not know you as I do the others, but I know you all seem to come from the same place. And Ismark seems to put trust in faith in those that are not from here and are not of the Vistani. The Vistani are very interesting people in the truce that they kind of hold with the rest of us and Strahd himself. But I have to get out from underneath the glare of Castle Ravenloft. Based on where the encampment is and such, you can't really see it up through the trees, but she glances in the direction that she knows Ravenloft to sit. It's almost like it's a beacon that she can recognize. Ismark is convinced that if we get to Vallaki, we will be safe. It is a walled city, far different than Barovia. Barovia has been attacked and assaulted by wolves and zombies and Strahd's creatures, but she kind of looks back at the Vistani again. Vallaki is said to be different. Hopefully we can be safe there and we can live out our lives peacefully outside of the gates of Strahd. Okay.
Kruven leans up past Tess. Irina, they mentioned that they were going to be going to Vallaki in 7 days, a week's a 10-day.
I will not stay here a week,
Okay,
and I will not stay with the Vistani.
I'm with you there. Whoa, but why though?
They are allies of Strahd. It is a very tentative. It is a.
This explains a lot, actually.
The story goes that Strahd was struck in battle and was on the edge and cusp of death. But the Vistani found him and sheltered him and brought him back to life, or brought him back to health, and delivered him safely back to his men. And it was in that moment that Strahd swore a debt to the Vistani. He may be the devil, but he holds to deals that he makes.
So bad.
This was a year ago. The timeline of what she just told us was a long time ago, not
Long
the
time.
instance a year ago.
Generations ago.
Interesting.
And we know that Strahd is a... Do we know that Strahd's a vampire or not?
He's bitten. We suspect, if not know outright, he's bitten Irina twice.
This
Yeah.
guy even stated in his story that
It's just a biter.
Oh yeah, the vampire Strahd.
Tess,
Devil's Strahd.
did you know about this when you agreed to join them?
I didn't know the reason behind her sickness.
You knew of my sickness.
Yes.
How did you know of my sickness?
Your husband wrote a letter to me.
I do not have a husband. She gives you a bit more of a wide-eyed look. Do you have this letter?
I do.
So, I assume you hand over said letter. It is also addressed from the Burgomaster. These four happen to have a letter as well.
Good luck.
Is hella hard to read.
Oh,
It is.
that one.
I mean, actually, okay. Good luck.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Kidding.
If you'd like, I've read it a couple times and could do so again eventually.
Eventually.
It was, but it was like, I don't know. What is it like? Like I did not know how to read. It was like I was translating. Let's go with 6.
So while this conversation
Okay.
is going on,
Mm-hmm.
what are the rest of the Vistani doing? Are they going about their
They're
parties and their
Pretty
dancing?
drunk, and they're kind of chilling, but they're letting you all be. I mean, there's kind of been the swapping of stories, which you feel may be part of a tradition of theirs, and there's been a sharing of food and drink, which is something that they value importantly.
Girian's just gonna sort of slip away and walk around the tents, not necessarily go through them, per se.
Okay.
I'm just gonna check out the area, guys.
So as you go to wander around,
I'm just
her
wondering.
letter that she has says, "Hail to thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for thee so desperately. We plead for thine so desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Koliana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Kolian Indirovich."
Oleon.
That's the burgomaster.
Oh yes.
The logo is like.
But to us, it was his daughter.
Adopted daughter. So they showed you the similar letter. Ismark walks over at this time and goes, "Let me see this. This is not my father's handwriting. This script, I've seen this before. This is a letter from Strahd himself."
Why would he seek help?
I don't think that he is seeking help.
I think it's bait.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a trap.
Shield starts to like scan the horizon, like this motherfucker.
Just randomly.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
What was your brother's name? If you don't have an answer, you can just be like, I just tell them what the name is.
Just tell him what the name is, yeah.
Do I believe that shit?
What?
Do I believe her? I'm suspicious as fuck right now.
You believe her. There's nothing
Okay,
that she's
cool.
portraying or anything else differently. One of the Vistani then approaches your group and says, "If you would like, Madame Yuba would see you now."
I would like. That's something I was about to.
So, Gary, you're off wandering around?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay.
Mr. Roleplay.
You made your bed. I had to walk around.
I know.
You see a raven. You think it's probably the same one that you've been seeing. It seems to be dogging you.
Uh-oh.
He swoops behind a larger tree, and out behind the tree walks an older-looking woman. She approaches you,
Maybe don't do
looking about as quickly as she can. She walks up and says, "You must leave. You must leave now. It is not safe here. The Vistani are Strahds. You need to get out of here as quickly as you can.
Can
Take the
I
others with you and go."
see if she's lying to me?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Where's Nan's like?
17?
Okay, no, she looks very earnest. There isn't anything that seems to be. Make your way to the Blue Water Inn. She then turns, takes 2 steps, poofs back into a raven, and flies off.
Oh, she was the Raven.
Interesting.
Mind blown. Alright.
Kieran's just had a what the fuck moment. Meanwhile, you guys all. You've been approached in this time and are making your way into Madame Eva's tent.
Can I run back to the fire?
As you run back, you see the last of them disappearing into the tent itself.
Okay.
Can
I'm gonna-
Tess stay with Irina while they go see Madam?
Yes, Tess can certainly stay with Arena if she would like to. While at least Kruben is Shield and Gwen going with.
That's what my intention was to like tell them I'm going to Eva's tent if you need me or if I don't come back.
I would like to go.
Okay.
Yeah, if I see him going in, I'm gonna run that way as well.
Do we already know about? We were told what she does, right? Like she's a soothsayer.
We haven't necessarily been told.
Have we not? Okay. Cool.
The Vistani in the inn touched
Yeah.
Girion and said, "You have been touched by fate. You should seek out Madame Eva."
Yeah. Okay. I knew something had given me that idea that she was like a fortune teller or something.
Yeah. No, that was the only clue from the Vistani so far.
And you said that she did see through the guy had said that at the fire. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So, as Kruven, Gwen, and Shield go to enter the tent, Tess has stayed behind at the fire. Garion is now coming, dashing back into the whole situation. You would have seen him coming, bolting back in. As the three of you enter, magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you have arrived. Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips.
You were expecting us?
Kruven, I have been expecting you for some time. Shield, Gwenestry, come, sit at my table. Where are your companions? Garion and Tess.
Poof. I fly in the door.
You come bolting in the door. She's been staring into this crystal ball the entire time. As you've approached closer in the light, it's not the brightest of lights. You
She was counting down.
yeah. You see her look up from the ball, and it is just white eyes. There's no pupils or no anything else along those lines. You see her kind of roll a little bit, and one then the other comes into view and level out as she then begins to look at you all. She's definitely got like that old, weathered, like the grandma gypsy look going on. Garion, so glad you could join us. Where's Tess?
Is this a group activity?
I don't know.
Shouldn't you know?
Oh, she is here. But I'd like her here.
Tess doesn't feel comfortable with that.
I mean, so from her perspective, it'd just be Kruven popping back in the tent. Tess, this is something you need to see. Apparently. Do what you want.
I don't like the vibe I'm getting from that tent, so I'm gonna stay.
You ain't never been in the tent, though.
Just looks like a regular tent. You haven't heard or seen any of this.
Yeah. All you know is Kruven came and was like, hey, you need to see this.
Okay, I reluctantly come.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair.
Welcome, child. Come sit.
She's like, no, fuck that. I'm out.
Just gonna stand here by the door.
It's okay if I put my hat here.
Yes. You have something for me. You all have something for me. You have something, it's in your pack, I believe. Yes. You found it. You got a letter in your pack, by the way.
The same letter or
BT
a
dubs.
different letter?
It probably looks like this.
It probably looks like that.
Oh.
Oh, might be yours. Because this is
There
mine.
should be, one for
It
everybody.
looks
Oh, we all have
just like this.
I try to rip it.
It goes ahead and opens for you.
Ooh.
Should I rip it the way that Shield would have ripped it?
Probably not.
It does feel quite full. Okay, so do without fingernails, just... Is it okay? I mean, can I just...
You should be, pop it open like you would have.
Alright, cool, that's what I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I did it horribly.
Make sure that I'm not gonna, like, tear anything up.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Garian's skeptical.
Oh god.
Garion just saw a freaking raven.
Yeah, so is Tess, but you made me come in the tent.
You saw that?
No, I'm skeptical.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't need your cards quite yet. We're going to play a game of who has what cards. In your envelopes, if you open it so the flap open, there should be a number in the flap.
Oh no.
There is a number
If you didn't open it that way, I'm sure you can see it through it.
Did you do this?
Yes.
But I mean, did you do this? Did you do this?
What is your number? Is it a lucky number though?
No!
I was gonna say,
Not
I
for
don't
me.
feel like it is.
It's just my number. How weird.
How meta can we go here, madam?
Right? Is this even the same game now?
Whatever is your card.
Huh? Well, it's a card.
I didn't know if it was 4 2.
See?
All right, for the
That would have been
purpose,
too much.
for my purpose, I know which number Corey's was, of course. I know which number Quinn's is. Which one do you have now? Okay.
Is this an opportune time to take a rest?
Yeah, now would be a great time if you want to take a bathroom break, get something to drink, stretch your legs.
Cheers.
Do you mind if I get a glass of water?
Do it.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
All these different spells and whatnot that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
At any time, well, obviously the at will ones I can do at any time, but as far as these,
So you can prepare 6 spells a day.
okay.
So you could say, I want to be able to cast this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one.
Mhm.
You then have so many spell slots. So you could then cast any one of those ones that you have prepared for the day any number of times that you have spell slots appropriate. So let's say you just prepared the top 4 here and the top 2 there. You could cast each one of those one time
Mm,
and those one time. Now let's say you've got the top 4 and the top 2 still. You would cast the same one, absorb elements, 4 times. You can cast that one 2 times. So whatever's in this bucket, you can cast any one of these twice if you have it prepared,
okay.
once or twice. Anything in this bucket you can cast up to 4 times if you have it prepared.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. How do I prepare them? Like.
So at the start of the day, after a long rest, you would theoretically be like, okay, these are the spells that I'd like to have prepared today. So if you knew you were going into a lot of role-playing encounters, you know, we're staying in town, you didn't expect to get into a fight, you may prepare stuff that can manipulate like charisma and
Okay.
interactions of that nature. Excuse me. If you know you're going to be getting into a fight or something like that, you may prepare other sorts of spells. So it lets you kind of be flexible in what you'd like to have ready. But whatever you prep for that day are the only ones that you get the options of.
Okay.
You can cast something that's first level as a second level spell for the most part. There's a few that it doesn't do anything different.
It'll tell you in the
Yeah.
text.
Yeah. Like a lot of them, like you've got like cure wounds, instead of being like 1d8, you'd add a d8, so it'd be 2d8 if you cast it at a higher level spell or something of that nature.
Cool.
I like making stuff happen. Eating pies and stuff. Also, I promise I'm slightly less abrasive in real life than Kruven is.
He warned me. So, like, what I did earlier with the herb, like, that floats.
That was something, yeah, that wasn't, you didn't cast a spell, right?
No, it was just something I had.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that totally
That was cool.
floats.
That was really
That was
cool.
different.
Like,
I liked it. It was a good RP, good RP piece.
speak normal.
Role playing. Sorry.
Well, now I know.
So NPC is non-player controlled. That's
Uh-huh.
basically everything that I'm running on this side of the screen.
Okay.
PC is player controlled or player character. That's everything you guys are running on your side of the screen.
Got it.
DM is dungeon master, GM game master.
Same thing.
Yeah, same name for different names, same thing. What other acronyms are there that we use?
We cover HP and AC when we get to combat.
Yeah, HP is your health points, AC is your armor class. Basically, it's how many times can you be hit,
Yeah.
and what does it take to hit you.
She actually goes down from level 3 to level 4
Say what?
on hit points.
Yeah.
Because at level 3, using max value, she has 24. And then at level 4, when she uses fixed values, it goes down to 23.
Okay,
Well, it's max value up to level 3.
so you keep that, and then you'd add on top of it whatever the fixed value is.
Yeah.
You can calculate the fixed value yourself
Yeah.
if you need
We'll
to.
customize it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, because I just hit set using max or fixed values.
Yeah.
And it went to 23. For
it did that for levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. is what it ended up doing.
Mm.
So you gotta tweak it so it does it 1 through 3 as max, and then past that.
Okay, so you just add your fixed value on top of.
The level 3 max.
Okay, the max level 3. Okay, I follow.
Okay.
Which means my hit points are not right either for level
That's
4.
okay.
But I can fix it on my sheet. I'm sure this book.
I'm just out to
doesn't
kill
do that.
shield, so you're fine.
Did you get one?
I did.
Nice.
This is mine.
Dude, I'm always jealous of people with like nice. My spine came like that,
Really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
and I bought it. It was used like new, so I think it actually happened like in the shipping. I never did. I mean, it's fine. Not worth the hassle. Too late now to send it back anywho.
Taylor, there's some cream stout over here. Caleb, there's some cream stout over here.
It's a dark beer.
I'll do the dark.
I don't. Macy likes dark.
Macy, there's some cream stout over
Give
here.
me like the fruity sweet stuff.
I just,
I love the
it's
good
not
wines.
getting drink
That's
like
in my fridge.
Pilsner or something like that. Yeah.
some
Like, I still
honey
have
wheat.
some left.
Yes. Oh my God. I thought I saw some in the store the other day, and like I had to go back and do a double take, just to make sure it wasn't.
I'm down to like 2. This has been a tough winter.
I would, in my mind, I would say let's buy some in stockpile.
So call it.
What would happen is the seasonal, like just seasonals in general. What happens is shit like Friday.
I was gonna say we just drink.
That's why I
We'll cut all
only
this in post.
drink them when I take them somewhere. So I have a limit.
Did you hurt your wrist? I guess.
I just saw.
I thought about throwing in some
Have you
popcorn
had one of those
maybe. Like popcorn. What is that?
They're pretty popular amongst the chocolate eaters around here.
Salted, yeah, it's salted. It's having like
Caramel.
physically salted chocolate caramels.
Hmm.
They're really, really good.
Anybody with?
You're not a big caramel person.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm a chocolate fan, so get that part.
I'll do the chocolate.
What? Since when?
It still blows their mind every time somebody brings in
It still
chocolate.
blows my mind every time I remember.
One guy got offended because he made this like homemade hot chocolate when it was like 0 degrees outside. Like he brought in a bunch of stuff and like made it in a crock pot and like a big bag of chocolate.
And you're like,
blisters.
nah, bro, I'm good.
And it was like, it was way too much Eagle brand and like hot chocolate, super rich hot chocolate.
That's how she does it.
And he was like,
Straight up diabetes.
why didn't you get any hot
So
chocolate? And I
large.
was like, I don't like chocolate. And he goes, but you'll like this. And I was like, no, I promise you I won't. It's bitter. He was like, it's bitter. It's this. I promise you, it's not bitter. And I was like, I promise you, it's bitter. He was like, there's not a thing bitter about this. And so I was like, if it'll make you happy, I'll go get a spoon. It was bitter.
So chocolate just tastes bad to you?
Chocolate's bitter.
I have a friend that, had that.
The bitter
Had
the
that.
better.
I drink
Like it's a
coffee
disease.
black, but coffee's bitter. Or not coffee, chocolate.
No.
Whatever.
Dexter start?
No, he started Monday. No, 2 weeks ago. Last week.
I am this
He's been-
much
yeah.
donate.
Today was, or yesterday was his
Oh, because I was out of town. That's why.
first week. Started his second week yesterday. I think he'll like it. They thrown him in quickly.
Forgetting to fit people.
Not use one of
Dude,
my
we are
spells. Does it
H
roll over to the
fiends
next
over
day?
there now.
No.
So
So
much.
everything resets after a long rest.
Ah.
So if you somehow picked up
Trying
more
to
spell
make
slots,
it
if you lost spell slots, everything resets back to whatever
So-
your spell slots are supposed to be.
Okay.
I don't know what he's after, but they had a spot for him.
I want to know what
Like he
they're
came at
thinking.
a good time.
As Tess comes and sits, Mayu gets a smile on her face. As her eyes then do that roll thing back into her head.
Tess's eyes?
No.
Man,
Oh, okay,
I don't
okay.
need this. The old crone. Fate has brought you together. It is intertwined in your futures. I see
I see a card. Kirian, what card do you possess?
Shouldn't you know?
So Gideon is really thinking about trying to
Just
switch cards with
deal
somebody
some
to
shit.
throw Madame Eva off her game.
Yeah, just being like,
Just like, stealing somebody else's card. Okay, what did she ask?
What card do you have?
She asked for your card. You can try to swap it with somebody. It'll magically be your card again.
Yeah, I mean that's to be expected so far. I've seen.
You
I
want to
still think she should know.
try to ditch these things. I got it written down somewhere. Fuck off.
Okay, I just mean,
No, I'll hand her my card. Do I hand it to her?
No, just go ahead and set it out there, face up. Yeah, sure. I can't see it though.
6 of spades.
Thank you.
What's the background on it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an Ed Hardy skull.
It's a Sons of Anarchy tattoo.
Good one.
Who am I standing next to, by the way? Who did I come in? So I came in, who was the last one? Shield?
Probably.
And then she came in after me?
Yeah.
So I would lean over to Tess and whisper, so this raven turned into a lady, and she said that we need to get out of here because these people are bad.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
As you place the card on the table,
No question.
That's all there's to
The rest
okay.
of us.
as you place the card on the table,
this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. 4, 6 of swords, the Berserker card. Find the Mad Dog's crypt. The treasure lies within, beneath blackened bones.
she then turns to Gwen.
Your card, Gwenestry.
I have this one.
It has this one.
It's the 5 of puppy paws.
I have a puppy paws.
How fitting.
This card tells a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
She then proceeds to flip it over.
5 of stars, the elementalist. The treasure is hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants.
Can you? I apologize.
That's
you don't
okay.
have to say it with the voice again if you don't. But
I will do what I can well, please. This is the voice I've decided on for the next 2 years. fuckers.
small castle.
5 of stars. The treasure is hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain guarded by amber giants.
Thank you.
She then turns to Shield.
Shield of Gwen, who stays ever at her side. What is your card? Or let me have your card. Fuck it over, fucker.
Did she reach for it?
She gestures to the table.
One eye rolls forward.
I put it.
This card is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight.
That's 4 of gems.
Four of coins, the merchant. Seek a cask that once contained the finest wine, of which not a drop remains.
The
Oh,
what
wait.
one?
What is that one?
For
That's a 4 of diamonds. That is not the right card for her.
Oh.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Not
see
the right
somebody's
card
future
for me.
right now.
I just opened the envelope, man.
Ow.
So was any of that true? Will any of that remain?
Any of the
the power and
story?
strength, the sword of sunlight,
Um,
or should we just forget all of that?
what was the first one? The 6 of...
Swords.
6 of spades.
Man, maybe I fucked up this whole thing. Hold that thought. So what happens when you make notes way back at session 0?
Yeah.
And then you end up here.
I don't know why you're whispering.
Okay.
Guys, this lady turned into a raven and said we need to leave.
Yeah, so I fucked up all of that. I apologize immensely.
So
It's okay, I didn't write it
I
down.
ripped that page out of the book. It's fine.
who actually had Girian's card? Do it however you want.
It was Professor Plum.
Okay.
I'm just picturing Shield.
So the very first card that was pulled over
Defense mode.
was the
Just leave.
the Master of Stars.
Look for a wizard's tower on a lake.
Does it matter who?
This would be the very first card.
So Girian.
Wait, okay, so
So
wait,
Gary.
is this 6 of
Green's
spades?
actual card, yes, is the Master of Stars.
That's totally different. Hold
Yep.
on. I have to erase all my letters. Okay.
Yep. I apologize. This is what happens when
Master of Stars.
you don't check your prep.
It's okay, dude.
Master of Stars, the wizard card. Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek.
Remind me to talk to you about that.
Okay.
No, to stick here.
Okay.
Okay.
Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. The wizard's what? Fate? Her name?
And servant. Take you to that
Guide
which
you
you
to
seek.
which you seek. Yep.
We got about the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Name and serve.
And servant.
Sweet.
The second card is the one of glyphs.
Who's that one too?
That was who had number 2? That was
Is
you.
it? I have two.
So that would
Is
be
it
yours.
supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of glyphs. The treasure you seek is hidden beneath the sun in the house of a saint.
The church. Feed me.
I forgot about that thing.
Treasure hidden beneath the sun.
In the house of a saint.
That's what saints.
It's pretty cool, really. What kind of fucking cheeseburgers?
No, this one's fine.
I thought you said 70. I was like,
Oh god,
that's
no.
not bad.
It's a banana for what bullshit is crazy.
This is
Let's worship the sun in
It's
house
like worse than power.
I was gonna say, that's more expensive than Express.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Banana Republic is like the entry level bullshit prices that you get like J. Crew and other shit. So you can only buy on sale.
I'm just looking at you.
Oh, okay. So the third card, who had number 3, that was the 4 of diamonds.
Shield.
Shield. Yours is the 3 of stars, the enchanter. I see a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty, plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. Okay. So when I initially pulled all these cards, I pulled them based on cards that I liked the picture of and then matched them to card reference here, and then I forgot that I changed out all the cards and this side of things.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay.
So all of you that have been looking at those pretty pictures are not. She then turns to
They said Hardy.
Kruven.
4 is your number.
Yes. So it seems to be.
This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness.
Does it have a number suit?
Yours? No.
Oh.
It shouldn't. Yours is just the 4th card in the sequence.
Oh, what's this? I mean, they got like 3 of stars and like 6 of swords and stuff.
Have you pulled your card?
Yeah.
What card do you have?
Queen of Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Mists. A Vistani wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey near the Mists.
Saint Markovia.
St. Markovia, yep.
Okay.
Tess, the last to join. In all the ways, I mean that. Last to join the party, last to come to my tent, last to pull out your card.
Thank you for breaking that down for us. I just wasn't clear before, so.
Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him.
It's Strahd. Because it sounds like Strahd.
He lurks in the depths of darkness, in the one place to which he must return.
Wait, is it Kruven?
My
Shield's giving Kruven the side glance, like.
Depths of Darkness, man. Come on, that's not me. I do have this nice
You've been pretty gloomy all day.
dark cloak.
He says, "Depths of darkness." That's not me. He looks over and there's like a tear.
Look at Kate.
What's she doing?
She's all the way up on top of the couch looking like she's ready to go into the kitchen.
Dog. Oh, she.
Oh, Dad.
I'm on display.
Fuck.
She's like, I can make it to the
Did
couch.
she jump off the couch?
Yeah, but her head was through the window into where the sink is.
Let's put like a dog gate.
This is why we have to keep her.
Through window.
Lou,
What, Mom?
you're missing out on all these snuggles to
Oh my goodness.
go up on the kitchen
There's
counter.
snuggles to be had? Hello, lady.
Hello.
Snuggles. Be really awesome if her actual like internal voice was so. Bitch, but all my snuggles.
As she finishes the telling of the last of the cards,
Did that card have a name?
yes, that was the
Enemy?
Dark Lord. And I think, yeah,
Your mom's dark. So mature.
her eyes roll back into her head as she regains balance and semblance.
This is all I can tell you. Use the knowledge wisely, and you may yet leave these lands. There is one in Valaki who can tell you their meaning. Seek him out.
Him. Just him.
I cannot pinpoint him.
Okay.
He eludes me,
Oh, there's not rain.
like a fish in water.
That actually makes me trust him more. So.
I hope there's not many dudes in Valaki.
So,
Although we're looking for him.
this is why Shield doesn't
Of the New
find
England
things.
hymns.
Just any him will do.
Thanks for bearing with me through that catastrophe.
You did awesome.
Retaliation. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You are welcome to stay and leave in the morning.
No, I think we need to be going. Thank you.
We'll consult our other, peeps that we're traveling with. And
He has indigestion.
She
Yeah,
nods.
sorry.
The eyes roll
Could be
again
anybody.
into the back of the head, and you see the orb begin to light up, but to you it doesn't seem to show anything.
Have fun with your stories, Grandma. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that this raven turned into a woman, and she said we need to go because these people belong to Strahd.
What kind of one?
She was a woman. She was
That's so broad.
she
Is
was
it
a
like
little
you?
older.
Okay.
I imagined her older.
She was older.
She was older.
Chrome light?
Not crone-like.
Okay. Okay. Well, cool.
I sure wanted to kill the bird.
She seemed trustworthy. I mean, just popping out of thin air and then popping back into it.
She was a raven. I don't really trust ravens.
I thought you did a trust test.
He made a perception check or insight check and didn't get any sense that she was lying.
Okay.
She seemed extremely-
But he
That's
could
right.
Still, he could still believe that ravens are liars. That are
I
also
did.
people.
I did believe it though.
But were you there for the story that was told about the?
The year 1565.
Maybe that's when he wandered off.
That is what I wanted to know.
The wizard.
So the-
Is that true?
About how Strahd was injured and the Dastani, like one of the Dastani, took care of him and brought him back to
I don't
his
think you
people.
wanted
No,
that.
yeah, I wasn't at the fire for that story.
Okay.
And that was a perfect time to swap stories. But, yeah.
Now I'm aware.
1565.
Yeah, the year was.
So, Shield gives us vocal cover while we swap whisper stories down here.
Maybe something looked to be heavy into their cups at this point.
So I'm gonna whip out that dream book and show Girion the page with the I'm emphatically just pointing. I'm like, right here. I had a dream apparently about this Vistani wagon was in front of this wizard-like tower.
Can I see anything in the book?
To you, the book
Is
is
it blank?
no, it's got words and everything, but to you, it's nonsensical.
Okay.
I mean, look right here, a wizard's tower. It's in front of this. It's just this Vistani wagon in front of this tower. It has to be what your card was. There was a wizard's tower on a lake.
Uh-huh.
What if these are the same? What if this is the place in my dream?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't feel like you're listening to me.
I think that pie might be worth doing extra overtime.
Alright. We find this tower, and it's the one from my dream. I'm just going to hit you over the head with I told you so. Just calling it now. Putting it out there right now.
Okay.
Good day, sir.
Nobody understands me.
Can I tell what they're drinking?
Wine,
Okay,
definitely wine.
that's
Very strong
interesting.
aroma. Smells like feet.
Okay.
You see Ismark and Irina. They're over there,
Yes.
still near the fire, and Irina's waving off Ismark as she's into another cup of something.
They're sitting with this one.
They're sitting near, still in the vicinity, but not necessarily part of. Kind of like if you're at a party and you're at the party, but you're not really at the party. The Vistani too have gotten a little. They've turned into a little more people watching, and Ismark's turned into a little more protective older brother, as she's gotten a little more lucid.
Should we collect them and leave?
We should,
He's down
but
to
without
Ismark.
raising alarm.
Did you check these wines for poison?
They would not do that.
I mean, other than alcohol.
There's plenty of that. No, all the wine comes from the same winery. There is no need for fear.
There's a winery.
Yes.
Oh.
Ismark, we've been told there's danger. We need to go subtly.
There's always danger.
Do you know anything about a raven? Like, hush hush, raven.
Like a female raven?
No, like a raven was a woman, and it was back to a raven.
Oh,
Do you know anything about anybody like that? Matches that
a were.
description. Huh?
A wearing?
It was. You said it was at a tree.
What? No. Where? As in,
Yes.
like you've heard of werewolves.
Yeah, I've heard of
You've
it.
heard of were rats.
That's how we got this silver. So.
Were ravens.
Sure.
There are were.
I'm taking your word for it, man. I don't.
I've heard
Yeah.
rumor, but they are very. It is no more than rumor, and I have not known anyone to see one actually in human and raven form.
You saw one actually in human and raven form.
Yes.
There you go.
It wasn't
did
in
she
the dream book either.
What did she say?
She said we need to get out of here. The Vistani, or Strahd's people. There's danger near.
I think you phrased it differently,
I think I did. I don't
Okay.
remember.
which is okay, like in character.
I think it's kind of
you-
cool. Like, game of telephone a little bit.
I'll see how that works.
Are they? Is it because they're Strahd's people, or because they are?
Yeah, the way you said earlier kind of was like they are Strahds. Like he owned
They
them.
are mini Strahds.
No. I'm pretty sure she said
Yeah, like
they
like,
belong to Strahd.
yeah, like there's.
Could be.
Like I'm
Either
saying,
way.
if it sounds like if Strahd comes here for you know who, that we're not getting any help from you know them. Like,
I think we'll be safer as far away from here as we can get.
With our
Irina will
numbers,
be safer away from here.
with our numbers, that would be wise.
is she good to travel? I mean, we're gonna be how far is the trip? We're gonna be going at night. Looks like.
If we are lucky, we will be there by dusk.
Okay.
It should be. He would have been informing you. It's essentially 6 hours
Okay.
from village of Barovia to Valaki. It should be around 2.5 to the Sarah Pool, but with the caravan, you all moved a bit slower.
Yeah.
So kicked out around 8, got there around 11, sat 8 noon. It's probably pushing about 1 now.
Do you remember who it was that told us we needed to go to the blue barge, blue water,
Blue River
blue
Inn.
river? Yeah.
That was the
Raven.
Raven Lady, but I haven't shared that.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure if I know that or not. Okay. Well,
I forgot to share it.
I mean, so they're okay.
I haven't brought it up at this point, so
Here-
I'll
here
find
we
a
go.
way to share it.
So, I mean, do we have a place to stay in Valaki?
I was
Baron.
going to call upon the Baron, the Burgomaster, and beseech him as a fellow noble for the residence till this is sorted. I don't know if he would have rooms for all of us, but I'm sure that there is some place we could stay.
We'll figure out bunk arrangements.
The Were Raven. So we should seek the Blue River Inn. The Blue something Inn. It was the Blue Inn. I know that much. It was the Blue Inn.
You know that one is Mark?
The Blue Water Inn?
Yeah, that one.
River water. Change the
She
record.
said blue. I thought gold. Same thing.
Or so I've heard.
Is it the Virgo man? Is that what we're saying?
Burgomaster.
It's
Essentially like a mayor or a governor. Sort of.
Do we want to ask for his help since he's clearly helping Strahd Burris here with his letters?
Oh, the Burgomaster's letter. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
question. Clarifying. Kolion Indirovich is Ismark's father.
Okay.
Ismark identified the letter that was sent and said it wasn't from him. They found a letter on the road the very first time that they came into on a dead body that was actually from the Burgomaster, and that's the one that you read. Very different verbiage and language.
The Burgomaster of Barovia
Yeah.
versus the Burgomaster of Valaki, which is who
Ah,
this other guy
Yeah.
we're going to see
Okay.
this week.
Thank you.
Okay. And
So,
I guess we can maybe trust this.
Each of the major towns, all three of them, have a Burgomaster.
Okay.
And Ismark is now.
Ismark is technically, the village of Barovia's Burgomaster.
Because his dad died.
Ah.
He's known as Ismark the Lesser.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Why? I didn't know that. Do we know that in character?
Couldn't even been medium.
Just less.
Just less.
I'm gonna start calling him that.
Maybe you knew
So-
the character.
That's
I
fair.
suspect that one of the ladies in the inn would have told you about it. The other villagers call him Ismark the Lesser because he has lived in the shadow of his father for most of his life.
Well, we about to elevate this sumbitch.
Some people just say junior.
Right? The second? Okay.
Caleb the Lesser.
Can
That's what we're
she...
naming our child.
Is she good to travel?
She can walk. We will be okay.
Okay.
We may have to stop somewhere to
It's-
let her clear her head.
Well, if need be, this one's pretty good at over the shoulder. Plus he's stainless steel, so we can just like wipe down.
It does not show fingerprints.
Alright, well then
Okay.
let's kindly make our exit.
They're drunk. They're rather drunk. You all are courteously thanking and everything. Ah, yes, come again, friends. Please. You see any others? Tell them hello.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you all get on the road.
Do we want to take a horse?
It pushes you
These are
back.
their horses.
Yeah, I'm suspicious of even the horses here. Like,
Vampire horses.
I mean, but like maybe
yeah.
not vampire horses, but like,
Yeah.
what if they're like his and he can watch us through them?
There's my pretty pony.
Yeah. Just saying.
Fire horses. I haven't seen that stop clock yet.
Yeah.
You all make your way. You all can see them out there. You make your way back up to the crossroads. There is no hanging man that any of you see. You make your way along in general.
We're heading west toward Valaki.
You're headed west towards Valaki. It winds, meanders. Eventually, as you continue to climb up and around that switchback,
Have we passed the windmill?
Good question.
not yet. You all are
Okay.
just coming up on. You follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of a mountain and ends before an arching bridge of mold-encrusted stone that spans a natural chasm. Gargoyles, cloaked in black moss, perch on the corners of the bridge, their frowns weather-worn. On the mountainous side of the bridge, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below. The pool feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley. That was what you guys were hearing when you were down near the pool. So you've made your way up and around and are above the falls at this point.
Are we downstream from the castle?
You are upstream from the castle. The castle, as you cross the bridge, you're able to look back to the northeast and see Ravenloft in the distance, a couple miles out.
Can I borrow the map?
That's a pretty sweet map.
Oh, okay. I see. Cool. There's no sign of a wizard body. Just like quick glances there.
No, you're not seeing anything of that nature.
Cool. Best.
You don't even know if it was these falls specifically he was talking about.
Nope.
As you continue on, assuming you all cross the bridge,
Yes. I would like to do that.
Okay.
We'll check it for traps.
Everything seems kosher.
Okay. Just be careful, you know?
After winding through the
Structural
forest and
integrity.
craggy mountain
Always,
peaks,
yeah.
the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft towers before you.
I spit in its direction.
With what?
Oil.
Make the motion to spit in its direction.
The castle sits further back behind it, and up the hill. You can see it from a distance. You come to the fork in the road, cutting back the other direction, and there, before you, you've passed through these once before, gates of Barovia. The large, massive, high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog, huge iron gates hanging on stonework, dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. The two headless statues are seen as you pass through on the opposite side of it. So they wouldn't have been on the inside, they're on the back side, so to speak. Flanking the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
These are the things that are like 200 feet tall, right? Like they're
Yeah.
huge.
Huge, yeah.
So does this mean we can leave?
This is a different set of gates. These did not open or close. They just were there.
Interesting. So, Ismark, are these statues at all of the gates? And
There
how
are.
many gates are there?
There are just the two gates.
Okay.
These on the west side of Ravenloft, and the others along the Slavic road, heading out on the east side.
Cool.
Now,
Good
didn't
to
you
know.
say before that you and Irina had not been able to leave in the past?
We had obligations and feared to leave, but with the passing of my father and the bold strokes of Strahd, we felt we had to.
No, good call.
Wasn't there something?
If ever I implied, I'm sorry. They are able to move through Barovia itself without issue. All of Barovia is surrounded by a fog. We probably had some miscommunication with the
Maybe.
village of Barovia and Barovia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought I had something written down about trying to sneak them out on a cart or something like that because so and so, like Madame Eva, may have been able to transport product without issue, and they had not been able to leave in the past.
Yeah.
But
I think they knew stories of people who had tried. And
okay.
Yeah, I always assumed that was at like the outer. If we ever tried that, it'd be like at the outer fog
Okay.
wall.
Okay.
so, meandering through, you do see, as you come around a corner, since you all have got this magical thing called, excuse me, a map.
Really is magical.
The old Slavic road transitions here from being a winding path through the Balanok Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled tower near the shores of a great mountain lake. Hang on a second. Yes. Its water is dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. So as you all come around the corner, you're still got some elevation. You'll see down into the valley, you see a lake, and there then on your left you see the windmill.
Does this windmill look like the windmill from all the items in the haunted house?
It looks very much like the Durst family windmill based on a very dilapidated version. Like it's run down, the house looked pristine. This has got a completely different nature to it.
We have this map.
You have that map. That is Ismark's map that he has of Barovia that he brought with and you guys have been curious about, to say the
So
least.
Did I hear your conversation about the lake and the tower?
Well, I was about to start it up again because I was gonna take it to Girion and I thought better of it this time because he did not seem so receptive. So I'm gonna take it to Shiloh and be like, show him the part in the book and say, look, this does it. Well, first of all, does it look like the lake in the book? I mean the tower in the book, not the lake. The tower by the lake.
So, you see, past through the heights and mountainside depends on the bottom. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Walled town. I think I said walled tower last time. It is a walled town. I'm sorry to spark excitement.
Sorry. Okay, and I realized anyway that the wizard's tower on a lake that was from Shield's card.
From before.
Or from Girian's card, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even from the dream book. That was my mistake. But sorry, did I miss something?
You saw a tower and a wagon.
And a wagon, right? And I had crossed that with the tower on a lake.
You couldn't necessarily see. I mean, you could tell it was on some form of ground, but you couldn't see much past.
You did
that.
see something in the lake.
No, that's what I'm saying is that I mixed the card description with the dream description.
Okay.
So I'm just confused, and we can.
Cut that in post.
Oh yeah.
No, we gotta leave it in there.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
So
they gotta know that I messed up.
you guys now see
Valaki.
You see Valaki laying down below, and you've got the windmill fairly close, as indicated.
I'll point out that it's the same windmill from the Durst family home to the group.
Speaking of which, Gwen, your card sort of sounded. I think it was Gwen's maybe. Who's
It's
the enchanter?
Girian's. I don't know who the enchanter is anymore because that was technically taken out. Girian's is the Master of Stars, the wizard card. Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant take you to that which you see.
Alright, but your card was the Three of Stars. Right? The enchanter?
Three of Stars enchanter, yes.
There's a kneeling woman.
No.
That's. I had the card of glyphs.
The third card. Who had number 3? No, yeah, that's right. You had number 2. So number 3
I had
was
number
You have
three.
three.
Okay,
Shields
so
has
The
Shield's
Shield's
enchanter,
cards.
a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty, plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak.
So do I feel like we're near a marsh?
You guys are fairly high up still. You haven't come down. I mean, you're over.
But I mean, like we're looking in the
See?
valley. Does it look like a marsh down there?
It looks like a lake down there.
Because I'm just saying that there's like it's an enchanter. There's a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty, plucked before its time. Kind of sounds like someone we've met. Whose name is literally Rose. So maybe I'm being a little too literal here. Maybe I'm being a little too literal here.
We've never been literal.
This is Cruven. This is not Corey. This is Cruven. But I'm just saying, you know, some of the symbolism here is.
Do we want to check it out?
though?
I mean, you know, like.
From the pictures of her before, would we have considered her a beauty? Wasn't she like?
She was young. She was
She was
really
a child,
sad.
but being a child
She
itself
wasn't-
is a time of beauty, innocence.
She wasn't an ugly kid.
I'm just saying it.
She wasn't like my pictures.
Self-loading. I'm just saying, let's keep our eyes open. We're headed to the family farm over here.
Do it.
You want to head to the window?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to.
Yeah.
If you guys want to.
Arena, is Mark, y'all mind if we stop in at a little place that we now maybe own?
A deed or something?
We have a deed to it.
We've made good time.
It's legit.
Okay.
Could be a safe place to sleep.
Okay. Oh,
Maybe not.
this is true. Time is pressing on.
What's the distance between the windmill and the lackey? Is it like negligible? Like what should we just
You guys got like that's not even a quarter mile to the windmill from where you all are at. It's
Okay.
not far at all.
Okay.
Valaki's probably still. We'll say like 6 to 10 miles because I'm not going to count hexes.
Okay. So it's a ways.
It's,
Yeah,
it's still,
I mean, I'm
it's still
tired.
ways.
Let's
It's
go to
probably like 4, 5 now, pushing
wait, at night? Like in the afternoon?
later afternoon.
Oh, never mind. I'm not that tired.
No, you're not that tired.
Okay.
I didn't get my nap.
I thought we were like leaving at dusk or something.
No,
Okay.
no,
We're
no.
gonna get
He said that
there.
Sweet.
you all should make it there well before dusk. A detour isn't going to completely derail that.
Perfect. Okay, cool. My
Unless you all
bad.
are like, let's renovate. Now, in this part of the window, I think we could totally
This is
blow
the
out
part
this
of-
wall
yeah.
and like
Ship
ship
out.
out.
Ship out.
We abandoned the entire campaign and we just build a settlement here. and then we play Gwent, and that's it. That's the game.
Oh, Gwen.
That's the game.
Stardew Valley RPG.
You saw it start to finish here tonight.
Well, I
Alright.
thought that's what was gonna happen when you were like, we play until we die. I was like, I just started.
Death is something. I mean, don't get overly attached to. Okay.
Yeah, don't like dress them up and give them names and quirks and characteristics and stuff. Why would you do that?
Not anything like that.
To the windmill.
Closer investigation of the windmill yields a few more details. The onion-domed edifice leans forward into one side, as though trying to turn away from the stormy gray sky. You see gray bricks, walls, and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior. Perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. It hops about and squawks at you, seemingly agitated.
Is this the raven you saw?
Has it turned into a woman yet? I don't know how to identify ravens.
I stare at the
It's
raven.
like a raven.
Hey, are you actually a lady?
It kind of hops and looks at you a little bit funnier and then flaps away, but doesn't seem to do anything other than that.
She's not very friendly.
This is generally how my encounters with women go. So, well, it looks homey. Let's see the inside.
If it really was the Raven woman, I take it she wouldn't want us to be here. Can I sniffy sniff anything? Like insight check stuff?
Great question. How about you go ahead and make a investigation roll?
An investigation sniff?
Yeah.
Sniff, sniff.
Smells like a clue.
Gwen, what do your keen senses tell you?
What's a twist?
What a twist! We said insight or investigation.
Whichever one you want.
It doesn't really matter. How about you? 14.
Okay. You smell kind of like what could be almost like a pastry shop.
Uh-oh.
Does the pastry smell familiar?
Maybe.
Oh,
It seems
no.
similar.
Curtains like this. More pies.
How do? You guys, do you smell that? Does anybody else smell that?
I smell metal.
Smells like pennies.
Aw.
I feel like you've asked me that a bunch of times and I've always answered the exact same.
I smell metal. You guys, I smell pastries.
Oh no.
I smell pastries similar to the pastry that Cruven had.
I start walking towards Cruven.
Yeah, we should not. I mean, you're sure it's the same ones?
It smells the same.
This is a long way out of town for her to be,
Cooking.
cooking. Yeah. I mean, maybe is this like a central location? She operates more than one, place.
It's a franchise.
I mean, yeah.
I want to ready an action.
Okay.
If Cruven darts away, I want to grapple.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay.
Good luck.
Don't get
Um,
me in my
I
mouth.
assume you guys are
Just
held up to
like
an
it.
extent. Ismark and Irina are a little bit confused with the pie and pastry comment. I mean, they're aware of it, but it's so common that they aren't alarmed by it like you guys are. Gary, you see passed out of the group an older lady that you'd seen earlier come kind of hobbling in your direction decently quick like.
Do we also see this person?
You guys are kind of all intent on each other right now.
Okay. Okay.
Tess, you probably see her.
Oh, okay. I was hoping this was a figment of his imagination. Or something.
Right, that'd be amazing.
I guess I would address her.
Okay.
Hey.
I can't change without clothes. one way to this way. The other way's fine, but coming back this way, I had to get close. I've been trying to warn you. With my hopping around and squawking. They're hags. They're all hags. Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
I'm so smug right now. I'm so smug right now.
So they wouldn't have seen this lady?
Oh,
no. They
we
all
hear,
saw-
right?
They've all seen her at this
Yeah.
point. In fact, you
Oh,
addressed
okay.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's aware of her, and she's addressing the group more or less. Ismark and Irina are very confused because I don't think they knew. Oh no, they talked about a room. He seems a little bit in awe of the whole thing, and Irina looks like she's getting a headache.
Guys, this is my raven friend.
Do you have a name? So far, we've just been referring to you as Were Raven Friend. Friend seems to be a bit of a strong word. But thank you for the warning.
There is a name. I genuinely have no idea where right now.
I can keep stalling.
No, that's totally fine.
Just keep rambling.
So
What do you know about these hags? Is this where you said plural? Like,
it's a coven, a full coven
that makes sense.
of night hags.
What's full?
3.
20? Oh, 3.
3.
That's still probably pretty bad.
They.
Should we be talking about this somewhere else? Can you, you can walk? Do we need to meet you in town?
I can walk for a while, but I need to get back. I know the worst of things you've passed. You should make it to Vallaki, okay?
Back where? Where can we find you again?
I'll find you.
Okay.
And walking and talking, she explains. They make pastries. They sell them. They're enchanted to give those that eat them and consume them euphoric dreams beyond their understanding. You've heard of things like this.
Heard of, yeah.
He had one earlier.
It was really good.
Watch him. They can be highly addictive.
Oh, I'll be okay.
She levels that grandmother look at you.
I beat it before. I can do it again.
Oh, that's right, you did have a drug addiction back in the day.
One and done, I always say. I say that now.
It's the thing I've decided to
It's the thing I've decided to start saying. It seems apt. Thank you, name person.
Be wary, this place is not safe.
Oh,
I must go.
what news?
She hobbles off into the woods and you see a raven clear above.
Like the clothes fall away from the raven.
I mean, maybe.
She just, yeah, so I would just stash clothes and trees and shit. Like, yeah, yeah, just everywhere.
Told you so.
I like my Monday clothes in one town. Anyway, yeah.
I never saw it.
It'd be funny. Does Shield have the capacity for that level of like, oh man, hoodwinking? That'd be cool.
All you make perception checks.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Roll your.
Ooh, that was good. Okay.
D20.
Yeah, the big one.
Big number.
And
Not a
then you
big
add
number.
your
I was kidding.
perception to it.
8. Total of 8. 14.
22. 4.
I have a -1, so.
Okay.
Above 20.
So, Peruvian
Yeah.
and Gurian, as you all have been making your way with the lady and kind of glancing back, you see a figure move away from the window that looks like it's been looking in your direction
Gross.
of the windmill.
We need to go.
A childlike figure?
Yeah,
Or,
that's. I mean, yeah. Did we?
like,
You can't necessarily tell that, but you can definitely tell
Yeah.
that as a human figure.
That's
that was
a
up there.
standing child and like a stooped crone would kind of look Similar? Okay. I think they know that we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, we could just, go get the law. We get the deal with this place. But seeing how the law works around here, I don't know that that'll actually do anything.
We have the law. It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can talk to the Baron and see if we can do anything about this.
that's where I'm. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I don't think we should be here if they're hags.
You could lay claim with this deed, since it is coming to your possession.
Would the Baron be willing to shut down the pies?
I do not know. I have not had direct dealings with him in the past.
What do the windows look like on this place, this windmill, or wherever their factory-ishness is?
They look like windows.
Right, but I mean, is it like?
So
Is there a tall first floor window that could get a peek in without being seen? Or something's...
There do not look to be any windows on the first floor.
Okay.
There looks to be.
They were all up high. That's right.
Yeah, on what could be the second, maybe third. You're not entirely sure if there could be a fourth floor or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just second Kruven's notion that we need to.
Yeah, if I can't look through the windows, I want to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come back and recon later. No use dying today.
Okay.
I agree. Let's get moving.
So you all continue along the trail itself. It meanders down more to water level, closer to where things are. Are you all having any sort of conversation during this time?
I've neglected my wood carving. Ooh. I need to pick that back up. I would just like to talk about the cards, see what we think. Like, we've got a map, and we've got some locations. So there's a wizard's tower on a lake, and a wizard's name and servant will take you to what you seek. That could be the wizard from the story. So maybe other people know the story and know his name.
There's also this tower by a lake.
Sounds promising.
Could be. But what do I seek?
Let's try to figure out how.
But what do I seek?
What do you see? What do you mean, what do you see?
What do I seek?
Seek. Yes, I don't know.
I don't
It
know what
says
I seek.
it'll take you to what you seek, so maybe they already know. I don't know.
When you hear a pack of wolves moving through the forest, they don't seem to have any interest in the road, but they just seem to be a typical marauding pack that's out hunting at this point in time.
So it doesn't seem as though they are trying to move us along either.
There isn't anything along those lines. It's strictly what you gather is a hunting party,
Okay.
if you will.
See? It looks like
Would I feel like they would mean any danger to us?
They're not too terribly far from the road. You guys are approaching that bend. They're kind of hunting up the hills and along the lake portion, so you're just now rounding that bottom part.
Okay. Can I get a beat on how many?
Probably like 10 to 15.
Okay, that's a lot of wolves. Yeah. There seems to be a
We got it.
pack of about 10 to 15 wolves that are hunting within this area.
Irina retches, just steps off the road.
oh,
It was.
attractive.
Jesus.
You don't smell that.
Maybe they don't like you either. Are you gonna eat that?
Shield will say, I've known some good wolves in my time.
I keep hearing this, but I have yet to know about one.
Right? Same, dude. Alright. Into the town. Hopefully we go eventually. Say Ismark.
Yes.
I'm supposed to seek someone at St. Markovia's Abbey. Do you know
That is
anything
in
about where that is?
That is in the village of Crest.
Kresk. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here. Cool.
It is further west of Valaki along
Yeah.
the Slavic road.
Okay. Well, this is I mean, we obviously need to be here now, so we'll go there later. Oh, good.
Tess, you kind of where there are conversations going on, where the clunking is going on next to here, you pick up the sound of hooves moving quickly, cutting not along the road, but it seems to be moving through the woods to the west of you all a little bit. As you look back, the rest of you are just now picking up on this, but she sees breaking from the trees a rider.
It's the book
Does this one have a head?
As things are getting darker, some mists have been showing up, and through the mist comes a skeletal warhorse and rider, both clad in ruined chainmail. The skeletal rider holds up a rusted lantern, but there is no light that seems to shift from it. He then proceeds to turn back into the woods and charge off, and you see what looked to have been something fall from its pack as it reeled and headed back into the woods.
I think we're gonna go check that out.
Are you gonna get that?
I am gonna go get that.
Okay.
Tessa's gonna go get that.
Okay.
I appreciate this.
So you go and you pick it up.
Do you let her go in the woods
A
by
gal
herself?
after my own heart.
It's-
Oh hell no, I'm
It's
going.
right outside the.
It's right there
That's-
along the road. Like
Yeah.
this guy crossed the road right behind you all this time.
I think you can just touch it with your hands. It's like, I mean, we were like worried about that before, but it seems to be okay. It's okay.
It's a tattered flag. Definitely worn. Definitely seen different days. It has a salt smell to it, as if it's like had encrusted, salt water at one point in time. As you unfold it and look, you can tell it is a flag that's from a ship that most probably went missing at sea at some point in time.
Was it like the same skeletal rider? Did he have like is there like? Can we pretend there's like facial skull features that are
There's like a name
distinguishable?
tag that
Right.
said, "I'm the same one."
Yeah.
It is me.
It looked just like the same
Cool.
same rider.
Cool.
Is the flag from my brother's ship?
Yeah, no, that's right.
It looks very similar.
Okay.
Hmm.
Similar in what way?
You remember seeing the markings. It wasn't something that you were super up enough on, all the different flags that were used, but it's one that you feel like you'd seen from his craft before.
Okay.
That he put up.
So when you say this boat, like a ship boat, or like a boat?
Like a boat, like a canoe almost.
Cool. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So I take the flag back to the team and explain to them that, the crew, the gang, the team, everybody. And explain to them that it's similar to the flag my brother's boat had on it.
That guy brings you good stuff. So far, he's 2 for 2. Seems to be.
I'm still not convinced that book has anything in it.
I can't help it that you don't have my special eyes, man.
It's
Like,
okay. I trust you. I trust you.
that's probably not. It's probably not for the best. Well, I mean, can we do anything with this right now? Does it tell you anything? Does it show you anything? Or is there...
I don't know why it would be here.
Let's keep it safe.
Do we think
Let's
he's
see where
trying
it
to help
leads.
us?
I think so. But I'm also very biased.
Will you hold it up for a second?
He has armor on?
Chainmail.
Can I shine a lantern at it?
Can I
Does anything come through it?
make a history check and see
Nothing comes through it.
Okay.
if I'm proficient in history? So I was just wondering if I recognized it.
Go for it.
It sounds
You're
like
proficient in history?
Dude, that's
Because
why
we
I'm
just
like,
role-played the shit out of that.
yeah,
That's
that's why I
awesome.
did the thing.
That's awesome.
14.
14.
That's so cool.
It's definitely a flag that you're focusing more on war. That being said, flags were used to be able to identify different pieces and things of that nature. So you had some familiarity with this one. Looks like something that it tickles the back of your mind, but you can't quite. Maybe in your time of dormancy, that part of your memory is a little bit hazy. You definitely feel like you should be able to recognize it, but at this moment, nothing is coming to you.
Were you talking about the flag or the rider?
The flag.
Okay, because I was wondering if the style of chainmail or armor may seem familiar for a type of individual or for an era of,
Yeah.
50s, 60s, 70s. Like,
Would any of that stood out to Shield?
The rider himself?
Yeah, the type of.
No, same as last time. You can identify it as it's chainmail, and everything looks really weathered and shitty, but nothing identifies it as he would have been of this troop in this order or anything of that nature.
So I would, like I said, say something about the flag looks familiar, but I can't quite place it. I'll think about it some more.
Say, Ismark,
Yes.
you saw that just
I
now.
don't know what to think of that. He did not come towards us, so I did not draw my weapon, but
Oh, no, that's fine. You have to.
I have not seen something like
Explain
that
it.
before.
It's cool.
This land is full of dangers. It's a wonder that we haven't come into any more. You called out the wolves, and I thank you for. You must have incredible hearing. To have heard the howl or something.
something like that.
Pushing forward.
Yeah, this is a weird place to. Yeah, let's.
The old Slavic
City.
road meanders into a valley, watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates, with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes, with wolves' heads impaled on them.
I mean, bad. Not cool.
How you doing?
I'm crying. I don't know.
So two figures guarding the gates.
It is just approaching, like the sun is setting. Yeah, two figures that you can see behind the gates. They look to be a pair of, as you get closer, they look to be a pair of town's guards. They have some form of uniform that it looks to be, some semblance of order. They carry two large pikes that look like they could easily pass through the gates and have reach in order to drive anything back that may try to force entrance.
I'm gonna fall to the back of the group.
I mean, the gates are closed at this time. They seem to be.
Good.
The iron gates.
Are the guards inside looking out?
They're inside looking out.
And the gates are shut.
Would they?
7 of you are rolling up right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we haven't had an interaction with them yet.
Not
Just the
yet.
other- Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is this something you need to handle, or?
I do not know. I have not been to Balaki before.
Oh,
This is
do they know of you though?
the different burgomasters are known
Okay.
and their families. I suspect that at least the Baron knows of me.
Okay. Oh, gentlemen.
Who goes there?
Good evening. We are escorting the Burgomaster of Barovia,
Of Barovia.
the village,
Okay.
to your lovely town.
Called it lovely.
So, we would love to come in, stay the night before it gets too dark out here. There are many treacheries out here, as I'm sure you well know.
Hi.
So, could we do that?
How do we know that you're not in league with anyone? It's not often that we see strangers, half-elves, whatever the fuck that is. She's the only one that looks normal here in those two. She'll claim to be the burgomaster. He looks a little young.
Newly minted. Yes. Yeah, it's... The old one just died, as it happens.
What happened to the village? Is it... How'd he die?
The village is safe. Well, you know... How did he die?
Ismark steps forward. I am Ismark Indorovich. My father, Kolyan, was the burgomaster till 3 days past. Wolves and zombies assaulted our home for a week, and his heart gave out. We saw him buried under the eyes of the morning wood and made haste to here where we seek refuge to talk to meet with the Baron. I don't know about any of that. We haven't heard. Normally we get word ahead if there be anybody coming. It's not quite dark, man. Just let him in. All right. We'll take you to. Hey, Frederick, get Albert. You all watch the gate. We'll take you in. The Baron won't want to be disturbed at this hour. He's cranky. We'll take you into the inn, and you can stay there for the night.
That's just fine. We've got plenty of good coin. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
So they make to open the gates. A couple guards come down off the palisade walls. Go ahead and close the gates after you, as you all make your way into the village. As you're walking along, it's muddy. It's not the best of villages, so to speak. Well, the roads aren't the greatest upkeep roads in the world. Yeah, for real. Shield with your large clumbering boots. You end up stepping on a sheet of paper that ends up coming with you. Is what I'm trying to say. When you notice that he's basically got what would modernly look like a piece of toilet paper stuck to his boot. It looks to be written, have writing on, and
can I help him remove it?
you can call him out on it.
I call you out on it, and then I remove it.
Slowly scrape my boot on the ground, hoping it comes off.
You're able to get it off. It seems to be on a bit of weathered parchment at this point in time. It says on it, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pipes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron."
I do love a good party, but that sounds horrible.
One of the guards turns around and looks. What you got there?
Nothing.
An invitation
No one's going.
To what?
to a party.
Which? Oh,
How many parties do you have a year?
where did this come from? These were all supposed to be trashed. That was so last week. Here, come see this here. So he goes over and pulls one off the wall and hands it to you, and it says,
Oh, the poster.
yes,
Oh.
a different poster. It's got a
Got you
little
like the heads.
No. It says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron."
Oh shit! I have to eat my words now. They have like lots of parties.
This is this week's festival.
Jesus.
Yeah, the Baron. It's a touchy subject. If any of you all go slandering, I'll have to put you in the stocks.
So this Baron, does he have a name?
Oh yeah, of course he's got a name. He's the Baron.
I mean, but does he have like titles? I want to, if we meet him, I want to be able to address him correctly.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't think about that. Yeah, no, his name is Baron Vargas Valakovich.
Okay.
The Burgomaster Baron Vargas Valakovich.
Okay.
His
V squared.
wife is Lydia Petrovna, and they've got a son. Is named Victor Valakovich.
Yeah.
So
Be squared the
since
second.
last week's festival is over, does that mean all of these pikes have yet to be removed?
All will be well.
All will be well.
Okay. Cool.
We've got to get them down. The festival's in a couple nights.
Sounds like a hopping place.
It's a happy place here. All will be well.
All will be well.
All will be well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
You're all right. I like you.
Thanks, man.
Now you guys are walking along. You're now in the town square, passing through what looks to be the town square, and
Would it be troublesome to get that guy's name?
you want his name. It's not troublesome. Nothing's troublesome. You can find one or two. His name is Falcon
That's a pretty sweet name.
Drazkoi.
I'm just gonna call him Falcon, and I'm gonna spell it weird. So Falcon D with a KU, because I don't know.
It's close enough.
I spell it phonetically.
Falchion.
Cool. It's nice to have a friend in the town's guard, you know, sometimes.
You're all right. As you all are passing into the square, the shops and homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked in which are several men, women, and children, wearing crude, plaster donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they pass through. Passing around the fountain, there are posters up all over the place calling out the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Do I feel like I would fit in one of the stocks?
No, you definitely don't think that you would fit in one of the stocks.
Just for future.
They're definitely giving you all a wide berth and a confused look. They feel okayish that you're with the guard, but you are definitely drawing some very, very, very strange looks.
Do you want my hat to blend in?
I don't need to blend in.
Put it on the Ritz.
That's so edgy. I love it.
I'm used to it by now.
So are we on our way to the Blue Water Inn?
You guys are
So
approaching the Blue Water Inn.
So, boy, your card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what she said?
The treasure you seek is hidden beneath the sun in the house of a saint.
Yeah. I mean, and now we hear about the sun on the same day. Just saying.
Is
Sounds
it that
like
sun
a
or is it
clue.
another sun?
I have no idea. I'm looking for answers where there may be none. Yeah, let's go to this inn.
Gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall. This is the place. They should be able to get you a room here.
Thanks, Falcon.
Yeah, man.
That's a really cool name.
Thanks.
Like the, I mean, do you have falcons here, like the bird?
We got some birds of prey up in the Mount Gawkies.
Yeah.
There's room to be a big one up there.
I just, if you ever like started training falcons, that'd be really funny. It'd be falcons.
Never thought of that. That's not bad.
I mean, for the joke, I think you should do it. Anyway, we're gonna go sleep now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll catch you later.
Stay safe out there. All will be
Thanks.
well.
Hey, yeah, all will be well.
Yeah.
That's good. Gets it. His buddy is like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Just
Oh my gosh.
Taylor is too.
Entering the Blue Water Inn, because I assume that's what you all are do. Damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portico. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs, with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall, under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables bathe the room in dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques. As you enter the room, you see behind the bar a woman, dark hair, middle-aged, tending it. She looks up as you enter. As you scan the room, there's a couple other commoners seeming to sit here and there. Two catch your eye. They look rough. They look rough in heavy pelts and coats, definitely wolf pelts. They look armed. They look like they know their way around things. As your vision continues to pan across the room, you see two, like what you would think is like noble frat kids, deep in their cups and just drunk off their ass already. And we will pick up with conversation with everybody next week.
Okay.
Ready to beat the shit out of some wolf people. The mean wolf people. Well, the people who hunt the wolves.
Let's just walk that back. Back over here.
These bitches hunting wolves.
Yeah, they're very thematic. If nothing else, I applaud their consistency of decor. If not their taste. Man. So see, you just gotta pick up on when you should repeat the things that people chant and say and repeat, and that's it. They just love you for it.
It's definitely coming.
Sorry, not sorry.
I have this thing I gotta see.
Well, I'm glad Ruben's not dead.
Yeah.
Because that felt like a definite possibility. Oh yeah, I haven't slept yet. Man, I wonder if that's gonna be some shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, you did kind of take a nap.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that was a dream.
Yeah, it was a dream. It was euphoric.
I want like the G version of it if I have to hear any of it.
I haven't said the word euphoric non-ironically in a long time.
Man, I missed an opportunity when I was in there stealing those health potions to just chug one. Instead of spinning
This will be
hit down.
so handy later.
Right, I should have just chugged one.
No, I need to get those back into the deck.
I'm still not fully.
Did you just pull down the red?
Yeah, my